Peace once again, family. As always, I greet you with the words Shalom, Salam, Namaste, Hotep, Rahubat, and Que Paso. For those of you that are Moorish Latin, Que Paso, Que Pasa. Again, any language that you know, wherever you may be on the globe, on the earth, any language that you equate to mean basically peace and greetings. Today is now July 30th, 2017 AD, which again stands for Anno Domini on the Julian Gregorian calendar. And that's equivalent to what I go by, or what I acknowledge, which would be the 5th day of the magnetic moon, year 1438 AH, which stands for Anno Hajiri, and that's on a 13 moon calendar with a Marrakesh year. A lot of you may not know, this is actually the first of the year on the 13 moon calendar. The first of the year of a new year started the 26th of this month. If you all follow the 13 moon calendar, which is a Mayan calendar, and the Mayans are the descendants of the Olmecs. The 13 moon calendar has 13 months with 28 equal days, and they have one day out of time, which is July 25th, which just passed a couple of days ago, a few days ago. And July 25th is known as a day, one day out of time, where you are supposed to, or where you can celebrate, do certain rituals and celebrate and make affirmations or whatever you want to do. And then on the 26th of July would be a new year, equivalent to a new year. So I'm back again for some more information. Again, there's always something going on. It's like too much going on. Every day something's going on. I can't even keep up with it. I just try to bring you some information to highlight certain things or emphasize certain events. Today we got the monologue, or really events. I'm just like giving current events, but I call it a monologue because it's really going one way. You can't dialogue with me. It's not a dialogue because you obviously can't talk back to me. But monologue would be a appropriate description for what I'm doing. I entitled this one. Something led me to entitle this one, or really to highlight, to talk about an article I saw. Trump endorses police brutality. And if I had to name this particular monologue anything, I'm going to name it Trump endorses police brutality like the sick, sadistic, mad dog, rabid animal that he is. Again, Trump endorses police brutality like the sick, sadistic, mad dog, rabid animal that he truly is. And I use the word sadistic. The adjective sadistic means something about you like inflicting pain on someone. You like pain. You like inflicting pain. You get a pleasure off of inflicting pain on other people. If I'm not mistaken, that's what sadistic mean, or something close to it. So, again, Trump endorses police brutality like the sick, sadistic, mad dog, rabid animal that he truly is. Now, in an article, police chiefs defend respect after Trump appears to endorse brutality. It's funny how when somebody's doing something, especially somebody with a high-level name, high-profile name, like Hillary or Bill Clinton, someone that's clearly in secret societies or whatever, the 1 to 5%, when they do stuff, certain news always say they appear to be doing it, or it's alleged that they're doing it, when it's very clear that they're doing it. In this case, Trump is clearly endorsing brutality, but he did that before. That's his whole campaign before he got in was based on brutality, you know, violence, encouraging violence on somebody else. That's been his whole demeanor and mannerisms from day one, before he even got in the CEO seat. Okay, so and he's had a consistent pattern of showing that behavior. So this is nothing new. This is right up his alley, you know. But this article, again, police chiefs defend respect after Trump appears to endorse brutality. I mean, he's so forward with it, straightforward with it. You got certain members even on his team got to denounce some of the things he done and said. Even his right-hand man got to say, "Whoa, I know you didn't say that, man. I can't stand with that. I can't." Or they say, "No, he didn't mean that. You know, I can't go with that." You know, but you on his team. You went with him when he hired you, when he came in, and you stayed on his team. You down for whatever he down for. That's in his eyes. You in. You know, like you got now all of a sudden his main man Jeff Sessions is in trouble for recusing himself off of an investigation dealing with Trump. Things are getting hot in the administration, man. Because my man is showing you he is the law. Simple as that. You want to know what the law is? Check with him. Check with Donald Trump. If you're anywhere on his earth, or the earth of his masters, you know, the law is what the hell he says all across the planet. So he dictates to China, Japan, Africa, what the hell the law is. That's what he's portraying. And who's backing him to even have those kind of mannerisms. But anyway, so this article is basically, you know, some fake law enforcement, some fake police is trying to water down the fact that he endorses brutality. Pardon me for a second. Okay, I'm back with you. Anyway, the article again, police chiefs defend respect after Trump appears to endorse brutality. It's a yahoo.com news article. It says law enforcement officials from around the world released a statement in an apparent response to President Donald Trump's speech Friday to cops in New York, in which he appeared to encourage police brutality. After his speech, the International Association of Police Chiefs published a blog post that detailed its use of force policies and training, highlighting the need for officers to ensure that any use of force is carefully applied and objectively reasonable. More bullshit. Okay, they don't give a. I mean, anyway, I'm going to continue, but anyway. First of all, you have an International Association of Police Chiefs. International Association? You know, as if they're around the world, you know, doing good, that they need it around the world. They're not even sanctioned to be in North America, let alone around the world. No constitutional government created police or authorized no police establishment known as police. Anyway, continuing, the association explained that officers are trained to treat all individuals with dignity and respect. That's a goddamn lie right there, because they got a blue oath of silence. Okay, they got a blue code, a blue oath, a code known as strictly known as a blue code of silence. That's unconstitutional right there. So that's a lie that the officers are trained to treat all individuals with dignity and respect, because that blue oath of silence is a set clause specifically for people who wear blue, meaning police, meaning a rookie or a less seasoned officer can see another officer. It doesn't matter whether it's seasoned or not. Basically, another officer can be with an officer, and that officer can choose to do any brutal, sadistic, heinous act right in front of that one officer, and that blue oath of silence compels him to shut his mouth. So what do you call that? His partner can knowingly do wrong. He can just snap and just shoot a 92-year-old 40 times, and his partner, whether he likes it or not, he might not even like it, but he's going to keep his mouth shut, especially when it comes to testifying against him and all that stuff. So what do you call that? That's known as a blue oath of silence, a blue code of silence. That's their code, a little pig code they got just among the pig brethren. So this is a lie already. This association, this International Police Association of Police Chiefs, are lying already, which of course they would, saying that the officers are trained to treat individuals with dignity and respect. We're gonna find out what they're trained to do in a minute. Continuing in this article, while speaking at a community college in Long Island about the administration's efforts to take on immigration gangs, Trump joked that officers should be rougher with suspects and suggested letting them hit their heads on police cars. This is the kind of words come out of this ignoramus's mouth. That's an ignorant bastard. He's just ignorant. I don't care what kind of shirt and tie he puts on. He's an ignorant ass caveman. Okay, continuing in the article. Now all of a sudden, and due to the blatant exposure, no, well that's me right now. But that's the end of the article. I just gave you a piece of the article, but you can get that article, the full article, if you're interested. I don't have no time to be reading all that BS. But the full article is on www.yahoo.com/news/police chiefs defend. Looks like something APOS respect, blah blah blah, HTML. But the name of the article again is Police Chiefs Defend Respect After Trump Appears to Endorse Brutality. So I just read you a piece, a taste of that article, and you can see it's already BSing you. You know, anything got to do with the police is bullshit. You know, they have a union of public relations to twist, spin anything they doing. They spin it into their favor, as if they're doing just an honest day's work, as if their lives are the ones online all the time, and the boogeyman is trying to get them. Godzilla's trying to get them, King Kong, which is a sick, sadistic lie, but that's what they do. They're all schizophrenic any damn way, especially with that blue oath of silence, blue code of silence. That means they got an alter in them, a personality in them, that they can snap on you and kill you on the spot. And their whole crew, their whole brotherhood knows the cover for them. That's sick people. That's sick. They need to be removed off of this North American landmass immediately. If the people had any damn sense and knew who they were, they would demand that. So what I say is now all of a sudden, and due to the blatant exposure and full realization of the pattern of police brutal policy and agenda. These Nazi pigs want to pretend to come up with some sort of honorable principles of procedural justice in which they are proud to operate by in order to justify continued police presence, which is growing by the second. Now, I saw a video or email or article where, I mean, they just releasing police in New York. Like, New York is overly saturated with police, and they continually add more, and more. I mean, police are swarming New York like an infestation of insects. It's almost like a bunch of locusts came and swooped down. Police are everywhere. They're everywhere, and it's like too many of them, man. That's too much Nazi pig energy. So you can see what they're doing. They're turning things up. Anyway, they are all of a sudden pretending that the problem is just a few bad apples. You know, they love to quote that, just a few bad apples, like, you know, all these police brutal incidents are just isolated incidents. That's a lie, because that's what the whole force is based on from day one. And we'll get into that a little bit later. So the entire apple tree is rotten, racist and rotten. Okay, you can't have a bad apple when a damn apple tree is racist and rotten and kicking out the fruit. You know, a tree got to bear its fruit. If you got a rotten tree, you're gonna bear rotten fruit. The whole police organization is rotten from day one on this North American landmass. Okay, because they're lawless. They were not constitutionally created. It was not constitutionally authorized by the supreme law of this land. That's what makes them single-handedly rotten and not desirable to be here. Very undesirable to be here, and it's a threat. They are a threat to the continental security of continental America and true Americans. Now, continuing, the entire apple tree is rotten when their operation is unlawful, unconstitutional, demented, insane, sadistic, dishonest, religiously biased, crooked, illegal, etc., 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 from the beginning. The police presence here in North America is not a profession. Let's get that right. Let's get this straight right now. What these pigs do out here is not a profession. They're good at psychological manipulation, when they put the commercials on and advertise, you know, policemen as just a regular job, 9-to-5 job, and you get your salary, get your benefits, and hey, I'm just working. Bullshit. They do the same thing with the U.S. sick military. Their propaganda agenda can put a commercial on and BS you that they're just harmless employees doing a job. No. Police on this landmass is not a profession. It's not a profession. If you want to get a dictionary, look up the word profession, you can do that, but they're surely not no damn profession. Okay, what they are is a crime syndicate. You wanna label them something accurately, you label them what they are: crime syndicate, third-party commercial mercenary mafia hitmen. Okay, they are an organized mob falsely claiming to be professionals. Okay, when you understand that they are third party, that right there tells you, I mean, they're not party to anything lawful, anybody lawful. If you did a crime against someone, you can't have nobody from left field come running their mouth about that so-called crime. and they have no first-hand knowledge of the matter. That's called third party. That doesn't work in the world of law. Again, affidavits. Okay, if a crime was committed, and again, you should notice if you had civics, but we haven't had civics in so long because this stuff actually sounds weird to you. You know, but you can quote these Constantinian scriptures, which is the Constantinian is the basis of your Christianity. It ain't Christianity at all. It's a Constantinian indoctrination from the Roman Emperor Constantine. So surprise, all of you U.S. black Christians, you don't know what you are. And when you say you Christians, that shows you ignorant and you unaware. You are actually and factually, not opinion, not belief. You are actually and factually following a Constantinian dogmatic ideology, again by the emperor, Roman Emperor Constantine, for political purposes. He doesn't give a damn about spiritual purposes or religious purposes, because it ain't religious, it's political, under the guise of being a religion. So Christianity is not a religion. Anyway, the police, aka cops, KOPs, Klansmen on patrol, because they are a gang. Fact, they are a gang. Fact, they're a clan. Fact, they are brotherhood. Fact, they are military. Fact, they are a mob. You know, no different than a damn pack of hyenas and on a gazelle. Okay, if you was walking down the street minding your business, and a gang came, I say a gang, but a group of thugs came and robbed you and stole all your stuff, shirts, wallet, your shoes, and they beat you up and bruised you up and took your stuff. You don't even know them. You have no contract with them. Okay, are you gonna go somewhere saying that a professional group, you know, you just met a professional group that you just had an interaction with, people who pride themselves in a profession? Are you gonna say you've been professionally dealt with? Hell no. You're gonna be hurt, bleeding, mad, and you're gonna want vindication. Okay, the word profession, that's the last thing gonna come to your mind. That group that did that to you was a profession and or acted professional. You know, they couldn't act professional because they're not a profession. Okay, so you need to know what the police is, and if they were so honest and straight up with you, know they're not. They're very sadistic, very psychotic, schizophrenic, and they don't belong on the streets. They don't belong on the streets. But, you know, they have psychologically manipulated the people that they belong out here. But if they were so honest, all the years they've been out here messing up the atmosphere with their negative pig energy, out of all the years they've been disseminating this schizophrenic energy out here, sadistic energy into the people. You know, why haven't they had one event to tell you their exact origin? They could get in an arena easy, or they can get a little civic center. The same buildings that they have their little fraternal order of pig police events in, where that fills, you know, 3,000 pigs. You know, and when they do their graduation ceremony of a pig graduating, so he can shed some blood. You know, why haven't they had an event with that many people of the people in an event where they thoroughly and briefly tell what their origin is on this landmass? That would be very interesting. That would be very interesting and very long and drawn out for them to just tell what is their origin The who, what, when, why, where, and how of how they reared their ugly heads on this landmass. The people should know that, or should want to know that. That's all that matters to me. I mean, that's all that matters. I don't need to know. You know, I'm not gonna get psychologically trained to trust no damn police, because that's what they did to the damn dumbed down people. But of course they did that through the school system, the church, or whatever. But why have they never did that? I mean, I should be able to Google something, or they should have an official book or official memorandum or official documentation of their exact origin, and they need to be saying it from out of their mouth, so people can hold them to something of this magnitude, to tell their exact origin on this North American landmass, in the year and the purpose and who's paying them and what their status is. You can't find that nowhere right now, which shows you their mode of operation. You know, it's not good, it's not honest, and it's not in your favor. You know, I mean, that's almost like being in a building, or working for a building or whatever, contracted in a building, and you don't have the evacuation plans. You know, they do that in jail, these U.S. jails and prisons. You sitting up in there doing time, bullshit time, bogus time. You don't know none of the emergency procedures. Even the family can't even get that information, some of that information. So anyway, police are not a profession. They are an organized mob, falsely claiming to be professionals. Continuing. Police presence and operations are modeled after the colonial plantations. I'm going to tell you their origin. I'm going to tell you their origin. And you check this with anything else you can find. You can even check this with the police. What I'm telling you, you can check with them. You should be to inquire to them about what I'm telling you, since they ain't going to tell you. But they didn't take the initiative to inform the people. You know, you can take this and since they love you so much, and you know, they claim they're working for you, you know, tell them to answer that question, where they come from. And they'll get this information. They got a crew. They got a network where they get all the information. They're running everything. So they'll get this. I don't give a damn. But they should come out and say it, and they can challenge it. Okay? I say again, and I said this before. This is my acknowledgement, my facts. You know, you can differ if you want. Tell me something different. The police showed their heads. They were formulated after the Emancipation Proclamation, and Abraham Lincoln put something in to free the so-called slaves. And you know what slaves they're talking about: Negro, black, colored, African American, the black slaves. Okay, which you don't know. You got so much energy. All this stuff is about you. You got so much energy and wealth on this landmass. Things are being passed because of you and against you, because everything's operating on your energy and your land. If you knew who you was, though. If you was in proper status. But when you're not in proper status the way you are now, you don't know what the hell's going on. You're unaware. You're irresponsible. But the police, my information is telling me, or my research is telling me and showing me, that the police were concocted, were formulated out of the concern of the Emancipation Proclamation, freeing all these so-called blacks, Negroes, and coloreds, and just pouring them into a white society. At least they think it was white. And when I say white, I mean unnatural, genetic recessive, and pale face, because they're not white. They're actually not white. Their scientific designation, or the scientific description, biological description, would be melanin deficient. But they're certainly not the color white. pale is what they are, and they are genetically recessive. Once again, the word white refers to a political status of being clean and pure sovereigns of the land, nobility, which is really the melanin-rich people, but they don't know that, and we're not going to get into that. But anyway, so that's when police were concocted and formulated when the Emancipation Proclamation was done by Lincoln. And of course, they shot him in his head, the Jesuits of Rome. I've given y'all material on that. The Jesuits of Rome had that man murdered, shot in the head. That's what they do. That's what they do. They formulated the U.S. Civil War, because out of chaos comes order, and war, as we already said, is the best form of chaos. And they've been doing it from the beginning. They still doing it. Okay, the unseen hand. So anyway, also the Ku Klux Klan, an act came sometime in the 1800s. The Ku Klux Klan Act was passed, which was really a diversion, because it just told them to take the sheets off their head. Meaning you can do it another way. There's other ways to skin a cat. So so-called Congress, U.S. Congress, you can Google this, Ku Klux Klan Act said that the federal government will go after anybody, Ku Klux Klan, especially the acts that they were doing, brutally racist acts. It really said they can't operate the way they've been operating in the form that they were operating in. They can't do their brutal acts with the white sheets. It was a prohibition against that. That's it. It never said that they can't formulate under another organization, or it didn't say they can't organize under another entity and keep on doing the same brutal acts. That's not what the Ku Klux Klan Act was designed to do. It was just designed to get them to stop doing it in that one form with the white sheets and kicking a brother door down and hanging him in front of his wife and children. They was doing shit like that. A whole mob of crackers come to your door and terrorize your family, and you got to hide under the bed and hide in the attic. And they had, you had to make a certain contraption in the floor where when they come, the man got to run and jump in there, and they terrorize the hell out of a woman and say, "Where is he?" And they search the house and look for you. And if they can find you, they drag you out in front of her and a child and burn you on a cross, or hang you right on front of your damn lawn. And their call sign is a cross burning. Okay, this is what the Ku Klux Klan Acts was designed to stop them from doing it in that form. Okay, it wasn't designed to run them out of business or to stop doing what they was doing. So understand that. So the police formulated because of those two reasons. So-called blacks, Negroes being thrown into society with no lawful nationality, no proper status at law, no correct identity. They're not speaking their mother tongue, meaning they're still basically culturally retarded. In other words, which they still are now. And I say they because I got a nationality, and I'm nation building, and it's not under Negro, black, colored, African American. I don't give a damn what you say about me. But you don't understand. You're out of the law. Negro, black, colored were labels to put on you, form of servitude, period. Okay, and if they did that, they took your religion. That's another form of retardation, another level. You're not speaking your mother tongue, another level. Okay, you're not on your own holy days, holidays. These are all levels of assimilation and damages against the same race, which again, today, 2017 AD, has not changed one bit. The Negroes are still out of the law, which is the basis of their problem, which they don't want to hear. But the police, once again, formulated for those two reasons. And the Ku Klux Klan just went, they formulated another entity to continue the same acts, which was to stop the Negro males from procreating with their flat behind white women, knowing that, you know, the brother has his phallus is seen as a weapon, even though he's not smart enough to understand that his phallus, aka penis, that melanin-rich penis, is in fact a weapon, biological weapon, whether he uses it as that or not. This is what the genetic white race, especially the white males, know. It's not speculation. It's a fact. They know just you procreating really with yourselves is going to wipe them off the planet. And then if you start procreating with their women, their genetically recessive women, they're gone just as fast or even faster. Okay, because they got that one drop black rule, one black drop of blood is you black. Okay. The brother should know by now that he's genetically dominant. So, you know, and the Ku Klux Klan got a certain motto, a certain law on the books called tubal cain, which is 2 testicles and a penis. They got a code word for it called tubal cain, where they're saying that's why they used to hang a brother. They used to hang a brother for even looking at a damn white woman. Okay, and even if the white woman came to you, they hang you. Okay, what is that? That's that tubal cain in effect. 2 testicles and a penis. Meaning, you know, they know that's they call it the mix that kills the dragon. As you know, the Grand Dragon is one of the positions in the Ku Klux Klan. I think David Duke was either Grand Wizard or Grand Dragon, whatever. Dragon is one of them. And the beast is known as a dragon. But the Ku Klux Klan called that the mix that killed the dragon. A brother's genetically dominant fluids, his sperm, his essence, going in a genetically recessive white woman and making a little genetically dominant child, which is really dissipating their race off this earth. But so again, police were formulated. But number one, to handle this nuisance they saw as a nuisance, all these Negroes thrown into their society with no discipline, don't know who they are, basically still out of the law, which makes you outlaws. You don't understand to be consent to the word Negro, black, colored, and even African American. You are an outlaw, and you still are an outlaw. And anytime somebody try to tell you that this is the basis of your problems in North America, the very basis, not that you don't go to church and catch the phony ghosts every week, it has nothing to do with that. Not because you're not being a Christian, Muslim, okay, not because you don't pay your taxes and tithes to the IRS, not because you don't have a job, not because you don't have your indoctrination, so-called education. The basis of your problem really in the universe, which is the macrocosm, and on this natural earth, which is the microcosm, if you want to see it that way, is that you're out of divine law. Your status is out of divine law. That word status, you can't get around that. You know, you pretend to be so holy roller, you know, you're being played. You're being played. So that's what my research tells me where the police came from. Once again, the Emancipation Proclamation, which is just freeing all these Negroes. Now, Lincoln did have something to try to remedy that problem of so-called blacks being enslaved on his landmass. You know, I don't necessarily agree with the Freedmen's Bureau was supposed to give African Americans land and job training and all this stuff, but by them doing it under African American, that's playing you out too, because there's no such race ever exists as known as African American. Okay, so I don't want nothing under the name African American. If they try to give us reparations as African Americans, I wouldn't want it. Okay, if they're not going to give me reparations in an anthropological name that we're known to have been documented, then I don't need it, because it's a setup. If I'm going to get it, I'm going to transfer it over into my indigenous name, to a real name that's documented. So Lincoln did have something where he tried to give so-called melanin-rich people 40 acres and a mule. Or that was the Freedmen Act, which didn't last long. That was like suspended shortly after it started. Freedmen's Act, Freedmen's Bureau, and all that stuff, which has been co-opted. You all know that, with the Dawes rolls and all this, these damn fake Indians, mulatto Indians, which is really really mulatto crackers for the white man, proxies for the white man. But so that freeing the slaves, the so-called ex-slaves or the black slaves, which again, that's what it's all about. White people were slaves too, but it's not talking about predominantly white people. You were the cream of the crop, black slaves. You were the money. You were the black gold, still is. So they had to there had to be a higher hand in this, freeing you on this landmass. You got to understand, somebody saw the unseen hand, and I say somebody, but I'm gonna tell you who it is. The unseen hand, and that ain't hard to tell who it is, saw a detrimental shift in their economics, with blacks being freed. Okay, meaning you were the basis of their property, especially in the South, picking their cotton, which is commodity. You was a commodity, picking a commodity, bringing these crackers immeasurable wealth, especially on the land which they already stole. We already said the basis of wealth on this earth in its physical form is no doubt the land and the people to work the land. Those two things is it. Not religion, not Christianity, not whether you did a shahada, not how many kufis you wear or whatever you put on your head, how many crowns you wear, not changing your name, not just growing dreadlocks, not becoming vegan. Wealth is the land and the people of the land. If you can commandeer the land, you got wealth. Then when you commandeer the people on the land and enslave them to work the land, you got double wealth. The land got the minerals and resources. Then you commandeer the people at gunpoint and forcefully assimilate them to work the resources to give to you. That's wealth. Meaning you ain't got to do a damn thing. You can sit on your fat behind, and it's like fish jumping in your boat. All you got to do is get in your boat, an empty boat, and row out to a certain spot, and so many fish just jump in your boat until you damn near about to sink. And you can go back to shore and bag them fish up and sell them. How can you not be prosperous like that? So that's what took place. That's why the Jesuits of Rome shot Abraham Lincoln in his head, because he was messing with their damn Jesuit-based economy. Queen albino vampire bitch of England. Queen albino vampire bitch of England. Okay? Which is the arch treasurer of what? The Catholic Church, the Pope and the Vatican. Okay, that's who got nervous. That whoa, you free all these blacks, what are we gonna do? Our economy, the economy was gonna crash. Releasing all these blacks, so-called blacks, this is human trafficking. So they had to think quick. So Lincoln was doing too much stuff. He already tried to formulate a gold-backed currency, gold-backed money, and take the printing of the money out of them damn foreign bankers, them English bankers. He fought with them bankers too, and he fought with the Jesuits. He knew who the Jesuits of Rome was. Okay, he tried to rid this landmass of them damn Jesuits, Jesuit bankers, Rothschilds, English bankers who crept in over here, because he knew that everywhere they went, they did the same thing. They enslaved people. That's what they do. And they do it through your currency. They get you on a certain currency, you done. Because their currency is controlling your energy. They know that. And Lincoln knew that. So he tried to immediately formulate currency that was backed by substance, and backed by the Constitution and the people, we the people, gold and silver. You see what they did to him? Shot him in the head. Okay? Shot a president, U.S. president in the head like he was nothing. I mean, that's the kind of shit you do to, a security guard that you don't want. Have somebody going and off him. You pay a crackhead $150 to get somebody you don't want. That's how they killed your U.S. president. They did John F. Kennedy the same way. But anyway, Lincoln, your boy Lincoln, that's why he's on a copper-colored penny. Copper meaning, they tried to castigate him as being melanin rich, like in other words, you're a nigga. You doing too much for the niggas. You want to be a nigga, you're gonna die like a nigga. That's why they put him on a copper coin, brown coin, copper colored. Okay, and got his name facing the opposite way as the rest of them, because they treating him like an outcast, that he didn't walk the line. Okay, and he did so many things for the Aboriginals. Remember, he was the one who called North America Egypt of the West. He wasn't no dummy. It wasn't that he was trying to do so much for melanin-rich people, Aboriginals. He was trying to get that karmic debt off of America for all that slavery and theft of human labor. That can't last in the universe. Universe gonna handle that. That don't go well nowhere on the earth or the universe. And that stench gets up into the universe and ethers, and that's going to clean this up. You got to remember the concept of as above, so below. It's a duality going on here. What you're doing on this earth has to be in direct synchronization with what's going on out there, what you think is out there. There's no such thing as out there. Down here is out there. It's one. It's one big house. Okay, if what's going on this earth is not in synchronization with the universe is bigger. That's the macrocosm. That's gonna clean this up, especially if it's foul, whatever you're doing. So Lincoln was trying to get that karma off of the United States. Slavery had to go. It had to go completely. So he tried to be a catalyst to do that. Not necessarily saying he was in the favor of the Aboriginals because everybody was enslaved, but he tried to stop it all across the board. But what he found out is the shareholders of slavery in the background, which is the Pope, the biggest slave owner, slave driver on the planet, and still is, the Catholic Church Christian system. It was based on slavery and formulated on slavery from the beginning. So that's who shot him in his head, because he was doing too many things to mess with the economy. But anyway, once they got him out the way, the Emancipation Proclamation was already in. And the so-called blacks thought they was free, knew they was free. They're so ignorant, they didn't have no nationality. You're not free when you have no nationality. You're out of divine law. You're still a slave. So that dilemma was very chaotic, and I see why. It's a nuisance. It's a nuisance. You run around here talking like you're free. Your culture is retarded. You can't grow one orange. How free are you? You need supervision. You need a custodian. You need a pilot program for someone to teach you your language, teach you who you are. You are far from free. You're far from free. You can't be free not having knowledge of self. But you've been so brutally beat and bludgeoned and traumatized till just the word of somebody freeing you, our people lost it and got emotional and sensational like we do now. We always do. Oh, we's free. Thank God Almighty, and all this celebrating. Not knowing that you have a problem. See these crackers know the law. Ku Klux Klan are Masons. They know the law. There's a law in effect. You cannot do that to no race. You can't have a race amongst you who's been deprived of law. You're supposed to be righteous. You know, this is, if the society is righteous, they're not supposed to have, you don't have no race that's been deprived of themselves, their God and their ancestors. They only meant to be used. Their only job at that point is an object to be used. So this cracker is hypocritical. The Pope is hypocritical. Queen of England is hypocritical because they never been righteous in the first place. So you wasn't free. Okay, whatever freed you should have had a program in place, not program, but some type of platform for you to immediately rekindle with yourself, your God, your ancestors, your ancestral ways, to be in line with the natural universe, but the divine law. But as you can see, you being black slaves and black objects overrode them freeing you. And like, but basically, hell no, we can't free them. We just can't do it. They have brought too much wealth, immeasurable wealth, generational. I mean, them crackers lost their mind. Like, you know, oh no, hell no, you can't do that. Like, come on, what are you going to replace that with? That type of slavery on them people, that amount of wealth. Okay, and as you can see, the church is very much in on them so-called Christians who own slaves and didn't want to turn them loose. So that's what the basis of the police is, to handle the nuisance of all these ex-slaves, which is really so-called black people, Negroes, coloreds, with no nationality, thrown into a white society and really being in the way, you know, being in the way, hitting on the white women. You know, the white women want a black phallus anyway. You know, you're interfering with their society. That's what they feel, and rightfully so. This is why Martin Luther King don't understand when he was on that civil rights bullshit. They treated him as a lawbreaker, and he actually was. That civil rights bullshit can't free anyone. It's out of divine law. Civil rights, for the record, on a record, civil rights does not pertain to natural flesh and blood people with a nationality, with a natural moral consciousness, who know who they are, who speak in their mother tongue, who have their ancient language, their ancient gods, their ancient religions. Civil rights are not for a person who knows who they are. You have no reason to even consider no garbage like that. Civil rights was for the 14th Amendment state-created person that they made. Simple as that. And that's what Martin Luther King, whether he knew it or not, was advocating for. Negroes to be 14th Amendment citizens, which applies to civil rights. Or so I say civil rights applies to this 14th Amendment unconstitutional concoction. Civil rights and birthrights are totally opposite. If you got birthrights, you never need no civil rights. This is my beef with King, whether he knew it or not. When he first started out, I suppose he did not know. Most of them don't know what the hell they're doing. But he woke up, and you see he had to go. As long as he was some civil rights all-star, the white people loved him because it played into their hands. But the minute he started getting nationalistic, he had to go, like everybody else, especially by him being a Christian preacher. So, for the record, on the record, that's where all of these damn Roman soldier police came from on this landmass, and they're adding more and more. Every major metropolitan city, every time you turn around, they're adding 300 more pigs, 500 more pigs a year, every 2 years. That's a lot of police. You get to the point where you know, 5 minutes don't go by unless you see a police, either riding by, either on a bike or walking by. They already got all these damn cameras to look down your throat and up your behind at the same time. So this is a police state, and you are under surveillance. You ain't got no rights, whether you see the police or not. Their surveillance is also police, aka policing. So again, my research tells me that's the origin of police. Now you ask any captain, any chief, any commissioner, email him and ask him the origin of police. They should be glad to send you a very comprehensive answer if they straight up. okay? Or ask your mayor, them sorry suckers, councilmen, to get it from them. If the people had any, people ain't got no power. Y'all looking for the wrong thing. Y'all trusting the wrong people. So, continuing, the police presence and operations are modeled after the colonial plantations, which were set up by the English, the British Crown, and the Dutch masters here in the so-called New World, all down in Barbados to get that rum and sugar and them commodities, molasses, okay, where they was cutting off hands and rubber. King Leopold of Belgium. Okay, the police model their operations strictly off of plantations like that, colonial sugar plantations from the beginning. All right, you know, you had them companies, Virginia Company, East India Company. They had enforcement, aka police. Police are modeled after that, a colonial corporation in effect. You need police to ensure that your corporation is running successfully. Okay, that's police in a nutshell. Okay, so the police on the plantations, the overseers, did the same exact thing the police are doing today on them plantations, brutal plantations in the Caribbean, West Indies, where they work your grandmother and your grandfather and for 16 hours a day, 12 hours a day with no breaks, you know, to pull that cotton, to make that sugar, to make sugar, sugar cane into sugar. That's a very tedious process. And you know how much how much sugar them crackers needed and wanted to sell. So that was a major operation to turn that damn sugar cane, chop that sugar cane down and squeeze it and get the essence from that and turn it into sugar that you can barter and sell and trade. So again, you got a commodity working a commodity. The black people were a commodity, formulating product, sugar, which is a commodity, molasses, cotton. You know, how the hell can these crackers not be rich when you got a damn commodity making a commodity? The person is a commodity, which is wealth. Then they churning out another byproduct, another product, which is more wealth that you can barter and trade. Come on now. That's ultimate slavery. A lot of y'all don't know, and I know you don't know. And I'm hard on you U.S. black Christians because y'all don't know jack about shit or shit about jack. I hate to say it that way, but y'all about some dumb motherfuckers. Okay, and I know you don't like my French, but I gotta call it what it is. I done educated too many of y'all every day out. Every time I open my mouth to one of you Christians, I'm educating you with real stuff like what I'm doing now. And the only thing you can give me is damn St. John's 3 and 5, Ephesians, and get that bullshit out of my get that out of my face. Get that out of here. That's worthless. That's psychosis. You sisters are hooked on that because you're emotional. No man sits around and quote no damn scriptures all day. Men got other things to do when they come out your womb. Men got things to do. Men are warriors. Men build shit. Men do shit. You don't just sit around, you know, talk about no damn fake man, fictitious man on the cross. But again, a lot of you may not know, and again, I'm hard on you U.S. black Christians. I have to be. A lot of you don't even know where white sugar comes from. That same white sugar that you put in your coffee and tea every day. I can ask any one of y'all where that come from, and I guarantee you 99% you don't know. Your preacher ain't telling you. I know what he's telling you. That sugar, white sugar, most of it is coming from the domino plant in Haiti, named Haiti, indigenous name Haiti, which is really Haiti, Dominican Republic next to the Dominican. But your white sugar is coming from the domino plantation in Haiti. There's actually a very compelling YouTube video on that, and I suggest you see it so you can understand where most of the things that come to North America or the United States are made. from people who look just like you, your ancestor, your sister and brethren, slaving for 16 hours for you to get that sugar on your table and turn your nose up. And you think you got it going on, you black elite Negroes. So you enslaving your own people just by that sugar being accessible to you, and you don't care. You think you're in the best place in the world. That's the Negro mentality. You don't know you're enslaving your own damn race and your own kind somewhere on this planet. Whether it be a sweatshop, Adidas, Nike, Donna Karan, you're enslaving somebody at all times, because the United Snakes is nothing but a big plantation. Anyway, I had to let you know that. But excellent documentary on the domino plantations in Haiti, which is where your sugar comes from, most of it anyway. And you'll see the Roman Catholic churches down there. It's all there. The same colonialists are running that, the French or whoever. And that's just one of the commodities. That's just one out of many, which again is modeled after them plantations on Trinidad, Tobago, Barbados. Okay, so understand that. Police presence and operations are modeled after colonial plantations, which was set up by the English, aka British Crown, and the Dutch masters. The Dutch masters. You talking about brutal slave masters? That's why they call them Dutch masters. They had slave tactics that was unbearable. Slave rather kill himself than to live under them damn conditions with that damn Dutch, that wicked ass Dutch, aka Holland. Okay, which is where you get the term Dutch master from them damn cigars, your little blunts, you little ignoramuses be smoking. Dutch masters. Okay, I wouldn't even be able to use that product just by the name Dutch masters if you understand all the people your ancestors then died under the hand of these them brutal European Dutch. Brutal colonialists. Brutal. You better check the research and check that, who the Dutch masters are. You know, you rappers like to spit out these lyrics, Dutch masters. You better find out what you're talking about before you spit it out, because I know you don't know. It just sounds good to you. Find out who the Dutch masters are. And you'll see there ain't nobody to be representing. But the police was modeled after them colonial plantations here in the so-called New World, continuing the same Jim Crow, Willie Lynch tactics are applied under the guise of economics and business. It's always been economics and business, always. Slavery is economics. Stealing people's energy is economics. Human trafficking is economics. You can't get around that. Energy is economics. Okay, the book War on the Horizon by a brother named Irritated Genie. Excellent book. He actually got some YouTubes out, but the book War on the Horizon by Irritated Genie tells of the brutal atrocities of the breaking of the spirit on the plantation of the most unruly black slave. This is the policies they had, the Dutch masters and the British Crown. They had brutal policies, man. Where if you don't work 12 hours, man, they'll kill you on the spot. That cracker didn't walk around with a shotgun for nothing. He tell you to do something, you don't do it. If you ain't producing, you ain't being productive, he don't need you. He'll shoot your ass in front of everybody else and throw you in a damn hole. And of course that gets everybody else, the other 200 people, get something in you real quick. Put some pep in your step and shoot a brother in the head right in front of you for him not working. They showing you what you can get. Okay? So again, the book War on Horizon by Irritated Genie tells you what they did on a plantation when the biggest blackest slave bucked the master's orders, the master's rules. Okay, the book Irritated Genie says that, you know, and again you can hear this brother, he got YouTubes, but he said they used to take the biggest blackest slave, biggest unruliest slave, and make an example out of him in front of the whole plantation, women and children, rest of his brethren. They would take him, and about 13 crackers will come and jump him and beat him bloody, beat him senseless. Okay, breaking him. Then they would go up in his hind parts, pull his pants down and sodomize him in front of everybody, especially the women and children. These are the brutal policies on that damn plantation in order to keep their economics going. That y'all don't want to relive this shit. Y'all don't want to relive this stuff because y'all want to keep, you know, y'all high on this damn Mary Poppins bullshit. Jack Sprat could eat no fat. These fairy tales, man. Snow White. And damn Peter Pan, Peter Pumpkin Eater, which is, you know, Christianity is fed y'all. Y'all don't want to know the reality of what's really taking place, because it's still going on. And your brutal slave masters gave you your religion. But this is what they did, and they still doing now. This is what the police are doing. They done reverted back to doing this to people, shooting a brother 40 times in the back of the head, just straight up assassinating them, cutting them down, just like they did on them plantations when they take that one brother, biggest, blackest buck, and beat him bloody senselessly, about 13 to 15 crackers, beat him down, and then sodomize him in front of the woman and child. There's a science to that. It's called Willie Lynch Jim Crow. And I suggest y'all get a good idea about that Willie Lynch letter. A lot of people say it's false, but I don't know how. They done it and it's still doing it. It's even worse because it's now digital. But those policies are still in effect. Police do it every day. But this is what they did. And we all know they took a sister. If a sister's unruly, or if a sister tried to free some slaves, free her own people, she was tired of seeing her people suffer and tried to free them, they would take her and hang her. They would hang you sisters and do heinous, brutal acts, such as take one sister in front of everybody else, the rest of the woman, while she's pregnant, and cut that baby out of her stomach and let that baby plop down like you know, like a jelly bean, and stomp that baby. I mean, what kind of devil would do shit like this? This is the same devil's ruling you now that you think is so good. He didn't brainwash you sister so much you actually marrying him and having his baby. Huh? The descendants of the Dutch masters, descendants of the brutal slave masters. You just giving them yum, giving it up. You ain't in no struggle. You sleeping with the enemy. Okay? So again, police are modeled after the plantation. The United States is a plantation. All these state corporations are plantations. It's the same brutal plantation. They just made it in modern form. Same methods, same methodologies. Same ones, and the police are performing that. Okay, so understand what these police are. They're not your friend. They don't work for you. They serve the interests and protect the assets of, again, the queen, albino vampire bitch of England, and the pedophile, pickle-sucking, pale-faced white pope. Every time you turn around, one of them damn freaky fathers are molesting a boy. I mean, I just saw an article 2 weeks ago. They still doing this shit. You don't see that. You don't see them getting shot down. You don't see them being castigated as criminals. What's the problem? Trump claims he know what a criminal is. Why these damn freaky Roman Catholic fathers don't fit the bill of being a criminal, sodomizing little brown-skinned boys, and boys period, all in Haiti and Caribbean and Africa? What's the problem? I mean, all the shit they done been doing and still doing. Somebody should have dropped a bomb on the damn Vatican in Rome, Italy by now. They're the ones spearheading it. Why not drop the mother of all bombs and the father of all bombs on the damn Vatican of Rome, Italy? All the shit they doing, the molestations, this whole Christian wicked system being formulated from that entity, from that area, that territory in the world. Wicked Christianity, and I say Christianity with 3 K's in the front. being operated from the Vatican in Rome, Italy. If y'all don't know how wicked that is, why are they still around? If there was any justice on this planet. But you ain't got no problem bombing Syria, though. Hairy, scary Trump. Melanin deficient caveman Trump. You got no problem bombing the hell out of Syria, bombing a mosque and killing Muslim women. Okay, why your bombs don't head to the Vatican? That's because that's who's controlling this bastard. Okay, he's a Jesuit agent. Okay, so continuing. So your boy Donald Trump is wholeheartedly supporting police brutality. He's endorsing police brutality as if we haven't had enough. He's openly endorsing it. Okay, but he's did that. His mannerisms show that he's been doing that before. I mean, he's the one that's spurring all this damn white nationalist Ku Klux Klan Nazi style hate and attacks in North America. So that ain't nothing new on me. But we'll get back to Donald Trump later and what he truly represents. For some news, let's talk about some news. What's in the news? You know, we always got to get some news articles in. A black pastor cuts ties with American evangelical organization, which all you all don't know. The article's not saying it, but it's the Baptist Convention. A black pastor's cutting ties with the Baptist Convention. Okay, with the Baptist denomination. Okay, and this is very revealing. This brother's saying there's too much racism in the Baptist church. In whatever it is they have every year. I know they have some big Baptist convention, but this brother, again, the article's called a black pastor. Of course, I always say black, cuts ties with American evangelical organization, which again they're talking about the Baptist denomination of Christianity. Okay, and this brother, you can see the article yourself, https Yahoo. It's a yahoo.com article. You just type that in, black pastor cuts ties with American evangelical organization. He's saying it's too much white redneck racism in there. He should have known that. Christianity is racist with 3 Ks. I mean, after all, it's the official religion of the damn Ku Klux Klan. They're the grand protectors of the Christian creed. What is that telling you? How many Negroes did they hang in the name of Christianity? How the hell can you turn around and be Christian? You confused. So this brother, I hope this is a wake-up call for this brother. For him to confess this is very revealing. Meaning it sounds like, you know, he waking up. It's never too late. Believe me, it's so late in the game, but you should have knew this a long time ago. So the brother is waking up and distancing himself from these crackers and his Baptists. All that smiling in your face. He sees through that shit. See, the spirit's moving. You can't tell me you don't see this shit by now. But at least he's man enough to distance himself and do something about it and openly say it. I suggest you look at the articles because he's very articulate in telling you it's racist. I mean, them crackers don't give a damn about him. They smile in his face. He goes to a Baptist convention and white people are so damn pretentious and schizophrenic. They smile in your face. They, oh, we're all brothers. We're Christian brothers. Bullshit. All of them crackers are white nationalists and eugenicists from the beginning. Every one of them, whether it be Puritan, Quaker, Calvinist, Lutheran, I don't care what denomination. Christianity is racist from the beginning, sexist from the beginning. Okay, but anyway, kudos to you, brother. You know, you cut ties with Christianity with 3K. Well, I don't know if he cut ties with Christianity. He just cut ties with. You need to cut ties with the whole damn thing and come back to who the hell you are. Okay, if you don't know who you are, I'll give you a website at the end of this monologue to get you moving on. Matter of fact, I'm gonna give the website now. If y'all, anybody who know this brother, and anybody else who is weary and you don't know what to do, you're unaware of who you are, you need to come back to yourself. You need to come. It's long overdue, and that's what 2012 has ushered in. Time for us to rule again. Time for us to be aware of who the hell we are, and that's what I'm all about. Facilitating that. And I want to say at this time, Cynthia McKinney, my dear Cynthia McKinney, whether you know that's the representative U.S. Congresswoman who did the, I think it was called the blackout. Something blackout, American blackout, where they blacked out the votes. I forgot the name of the exact documentary, but it was very well advertised and published and viewed. But Cynthia McKinney, my dear, I saw something on a website you on where, you know, you partner with this Dutch cracker called We the People. You have nothing to do with that. Okay, you are not a U.S. citizen. You can't be a U.S. citizen. You have treaty rights here. You have Aboriginal rights. You have indigenous rights. You have native rights through your genotype, phenotype, and blood type, Cynthia McKinney. I hope this gets through to you, because I done dealt with you before and talked to you before, and people done try to tell you to come home. I know there was a Muslim group that tried to tell her, you know, come home to who you are. If it's not Islam, you know, Islam is just an ancient way of life, but you need to come back to who you are, sister, because I'm very skeptical of you out there. You know, you got too many white people around you. I'm gonna tell you straight up, you got too many genetically recessive pale Euro albions around you to trust you. You know, now I was on a website, this so-called We the People bullshit, where the president is this Dutch cracker. I just told you about the Dutch master, so he's a descendant of brutal colonialists. He can try to pretend he didn't do nothing all he want, but that's not the case. But he's the president of this We the People corporation or organization, and Cynthia McKinney is like the co-president or vice president. You know, that doesn't look good right there. What are you doing up under, serving under this damn white man? That ain't going well with me right there. So I can't follow nothing you say, Cynthia McKinney. And I know you're Roman Catholic. I heard you talk about going to Roman Catholic mass and stuff like that. So you Catholic, you Christian. I'm gonna go ahead and say it, you Christian. And I hate to say you're a Christian sicko. You know, you need to come back home and be part of your nation and start a nation and advocate for your damn Asiatic so-called black nation, melanin-rich people, and understand what it's all about. And if you need to find your way, I'm gonna give you this website too, along with anybody else out there weary, any melanin-rich Asiatic. I'm gonna give you a website to kind of lead you in the right direction. https://indigenouspeopledocs.wixsite.com/Asiatic Moorish Nation. And I'm going to spell it out for you. https://indigenous.wixsite.com/ASITIC.com/ASITIC It's two U's, RICHNATION. Again, Asiatic Moorish Nation at the end is spelled with two U's. And my email is asiaticmoorishnation@gmail.com. But in the email, the Asiatic Moorish Nation is with two O's. So Cynthia McKinney, I invite you to go to that site if it's still up. They might have took it down, but or you can email me and I'll give you some information to put you in the right direction, because you off course, sister. You off course. and you obviously a Christian sicko, and I say that respectfully. Don't take it personal. Christianity has done a job to you sisters, because the status of the woman's the status of the child. They got you sisters sick with that bullshit, man. And the showdown and the battle is truly with you sisters. Y'all gotta drop that bullshit and come back to being spiritual and who you are. So it's a fight to get that stuff out of you sisters, and that's a serious fight, because they have ingrained that into y'all psyche, man, where y'all won't fight anybody if y'all can't have y'all damn white Jesus and y'all sugar daddy pimp preachers. It's a shame. Anyway, moving right along. Black pastor cuts ties with American evangelical organization. You may want to check that out. Very interesting. That's the kind of stuff catch my attention. Moving right along. Trump is seeking war with Iran. We all know that. We all knew that. He doing the same thing Bush did. Okay. Now, this article says the mask is off. Trump is seeking war with Iran. He's a warmonger. And if you notice, they're playing him like he's this modern day crusader, that he's ridding the world of big bad Islam, copper colored people. They're praising him, or they positioning him as this crusader. Okay, he's like Bush on steroids. You see, and he is some denomination of Christianity. He's a Jesuit agent. The only way he can do all this stuff he's doing and gets no flack from the Pope, because that's what's controlling him. That's his papal papa. But moving right along, another article. What a border spat reveals about shifting positions in the Horn of Africa. Again, this is a Yahoo.com news. Most of these are Yahoo. You can find them. It says here, just weeks after sending troops to its first overseas military base in the tiny East African nation of Djibouti. It's spelled D-J-I-B-O-U-T-I, Djibouti, which is very rich in oil. A lot of you may not know Djibouti is where U.S. ships go to refuel when they're in the Middle East. But again, continuing, I'll read this again. Just weeks after sending troops to its first overseas military base in the tiny East African nation of Djibouti, China has come forward. China again. China's in the mix. China's doing big things. China has come forward with a curious offer, to dive headlong into a dispute that illustrates the complex rivalries of the Horn of Africa region. In an interview with the Associated Press published July 21st, Quang Weilan, China's ambassador to the African Union, said China would consider sending peacekeeping troops to a border area contested by Djibouti and Eritrea. The dispute over the area known as Ras Dumeria dates back to the late 19th century, when Eritrea was colonized by the Italians and Djibouti was known as a French Somaliland. So again, you see the colonialist heads rearing up. They never left. They're still hiding in the cut, trying to control these plantations all over the world, whether it be Africa, Americas, Asia, Europe. Okay, the Italians was colonists. The French in Somaliland. They're trying to hold that wealth. Again, which is the people in the land. These bloodsuckers don't know what else to do. The most wealth they ever got is enslaving the original man. And they're trying to keep their hold, but their hold is breaking. So China, a lot of you so-called educated Negroes like to believe that China's trying to be the next slave master. But Africa is really East Asia. Y'all keep forgetting that China, there's no way China can be as brutal as the damn Pope and the Queen of England when that's who they're fighting. You got some type of avenue to talk to China if you got some damn sense and know who the hell you are. China is not going to be an oppressor like the damn Queen of England and the Pope, knowing if you see what's happening in the world, who they fighting. They don't have no time. And they know the benefits of Africa. They know the ancient significance of damn Africa. China ain't stupid. They got karma on them. They don't want to do what the white man's doing, which is bringing him down. You can't rule that way. You're going to deal with Africa. You're going to have to bring Africa up. And all downtrodden, melanin-rich people, which is so-called blacks in North America, if you got some sense and start formulating some kind of organizations with a nationality, people will help you. Brown-skinned people like China and Asia want to help you. They can't do nothing for you when you're out of the damn law. And the next thing, some ignorant comment come out of your mouth what China's doing to somebody, you better hope you can get some assistance from China. You need any assistance you can get. And when you get your mind right, you'll see that China, Mexico, any brown-skinned black, so-called black people will be glad to help you fight this damn global imperialism. You in the way. You helping imperialism by not knowing who the hell you are and being out of divine law. China is doing big things, and they fighting this damn white man. That white man always hated brown-skinned people, especially from China, as brilliant as them damn people are, which come from you. Remember, you have the parent genes, and you sitting in the way, stuck on stupid, watching Empire and damn New Jersey Housewives, and hating on somebody else. You hating on North Korea, because them damn people know who they are. And they hate your government because it's not even a government. And you so scared, you think somebody gonna send a missile to blow your ignorant ass up. Maybe that's what they need to do to you. What you good for? All you can do is quote damn Ephesians 1 and 3 all goddamn day. That ain't what nations do. That ain't what people with a natural moral conscience do. Productive people who have a God quote these damn fairy tale rhymes all damn day. Okay? So you in the way. This shadow government's using you as a shield, and you don't understand that. And then people hate you being used. They don't hate your dumb behind, even though it's hard not to hate you. They hate who's controlling you and manipulating you. You under influence. You being overpowered psychologically. Okay, these devils are sorcerers. Pat Robertson, Billy Graham. Christianity is sorcery, evil sorcery, straight up. Straight up. It's hypnotism. And again, in the world of law, you're not supposed to be damn hypnotizing nobody against their will. You Negroes are programmed against your will. And the world is trying to stand up and break your spell because it's causing them problems. They bombing melanin-rich people on your bonds. So you killing people indirectly, which to me is directly. That's why people mad with you and mad with Negroes in North America, because you don't understand the power you got when somebody kidnap you and use your damn energy and leverage against other brown-skinned people. That's what they're doing to you. So continue. Just read you the article from China. So China's doing big things. They already done built a damn so many billion-dollar railway from, what is it, Mombasa, Kenya, connecting to, I think it's Nairobi. Kenya's first major railway. China, mighty China is doing big things. The mighty China is coming through. China is a force to be reckoned with. And if you had any damn sense, you'll know you Asiatic for a reason. Root word of Asiatic being Asia. I tell you, they know who you are. You don't know who you are. You in the way. You taking up space and wasting time. And taking up time and wasting space. And the world ain't gonna continue to keep waiting on Negroes in North America. I'm telling you. You got divine judgment against you. If you don't wake your ass up, something gonna take you out. And according to divine law, you need to be taken out because you done had too many warnings. You got 2012 here. You got the cosmos in your favor for you to wake up and do something for yourself. And you still stuck on this damn Mickey Mouse bullshit. Okay, maybe you disabled to you where you can't come back. Okay, well, it's called collateral damage. I ain't gonna miss you. You so disabled psychologically till you can't get it right till, okay, well, maybe you need to be you need to be taken out. See you in the spirit world, because you sure ain't no damn good in this physical world. This physical world requires set responsibilities to do certain things for yourself. You ain't gonna do it or can't do it, what good is you? That's all I got to say. But moving right along, Sri Lanka signs deal on the Hambantota port with who? China. China again. China again. They building ports left and right all over the place, helping brown-skinned people get their armament up and stuff to fight this damn beast which has you hostage. Again, article is Sri Lanka signs deal on the Hambantota port with China. Yahoo.com news. It says Sri Lanka has signed a $1.1 billion deal with China for the control and development of a southern deep sea port of Hambantota. The deal has been delayed by several months over concerns that the port could be used by the Chinese military. The government has given assurances that China will run only commercial operations from the port on the main shipping route between Asia and Europe. Sri Lanka's government says money from the deal will help repay foreign loans. Under the proposal, a state-run Chinese company will have a 99-year lease on the port and about 15,000 acres nearby for an industrial zone. So, people who know the time, you Moors, you know what that means. China is conducive, is representing really the Moorish Empire, because they're Moors. It's more, you know what I mean? They're Moors technically. Okay? Samurais are Moors. All right? Samurai. So they're coming through nicely, really, as the golden age of the Moors is coming back. They're spearheading. All you got to do is get your mind right and get in on it. Okay, continuing. This article, this is very interesting. The next U.S. war will be long, hard, and take the entire country into a win, Army Chief says. The next U.S. war will be long, hard, and take the entire country into a win, Army Chief says. Okay, this is brainwashing. Classic brainwashing. But that's all they've been doing. Win against who? Who they gonna win? What are they fighting? Are they fighting in your favor, melanin rich sister, melanin rich brother? What you gonna get? They gonna draft you and have you fighting damn wars you have no damn business fighting. Fighting black and brown people where you come from, areas where you come from, put a damn gun in your hand, brainwash the hell out of you, and put a damn gun in your hand, give you security clearance to kill innocent men, women, and children for what? And you don't know what the hell you killing for, being brainwashed and saying oaths to the U.S. military. You don't understand the U.S. military is nothing but a modern-day Christian crusade force against heathens, heretics, and Protestants, which you know is the Moors, the Saracens, Nubians. They call us many things. Saracens, non-believers, terrorists, pirates, villains. They got a way of slandering you. Barbarians. Okay, and got you your melanin rich behind in there fighting. You don't know what the hell you fighting. You don't even know the history of the damn military. Some of you in the Navy don't even know the word Navy comes from the word navigate. Who was the best navigator? Who controlled the 7 seas? It wasn't the white man. There was no Europe in ancient times. So you don't even know the oceans that you're on fighting, that you're floating on, was controlled by ancient black and brown freedom fighters, whether it be Moors, Asians, Americans, whoever, real Americans. It wasn't the white man. They finally got their behinds in them oceans, and they want to look like they're the best that ever done it, when they wouldn't be able to do nothing without the Nautilus equipment of the Arabs, aka Moors, and the Chinese, in the navigational methods cosmology. You got to know cosmology to know to navigate in emotions, because you got to know the tide, low tide, and okay. So you should know. You should have it. That recruiter should tell you some of these things, but they're not telling you nothing. That's what I'm saying. They put a Negro in boot camp and brainwash the hell out of them. That's what boot camp is. It's taking you from being a civilian to a military person. The only way for them to do that, they got to have a system of indoctrinating you to think military. You're not a civilian no more when you go in any one of them branches. That's what boot camp is all about. Some are 2 months, some are 4 months. Or the Marines is 4 months. They really fuck your head up. They really mess your head up. I'm gonna tell you that now. Marines ain't no joke. Meaning the psychological trauma you get just going in, and you come out with that same trauma. Once a Marine, always a Marine. You be like on your deathbed talking that dumb shit. Once a Marine, always a Marine. That's very effective brainwashing. But anyway, this is a campaign to get inner city impoverished brothers to sign up for Trump's war. He's extending himself all around the planet, as you can see, in predominantly Asiatic areas that has resources, you know, and this is what China is battling. Okay, this devil's going for the gusto, man. And they can brainwash us. Our youth ain't got no YMCAs, no jobs. Okay, I can see what's coming. And them preachers gonna put a plug in for Trump and say you need to go in the army and fight God's war. This ain't no damn God's war. You God and you at war, or you are a God, and you fighting this wicked God. Again, title of this article: Next U.S. war will be long, hard, and take the entire country into a win. Yahoo.com article. It says here, the Army's leading officer dispelled Thursday some of the more persistent myths about the potential major conflicts of the future, emphasizing that war was never likely to be a simple endeavor. Army Chief of Staff General Mark Milley told reporters at the National Press Club in Washington that despite technological and strategic developments, tomorrow's wars may look a lot like today's in the sense that they will probably be violent, prolonged battles that require extensive resources both to fight and to resolve. As the U.S. prepares to enter its 16th consecutive year battling Islamic militant groups abroad and contemplates new engagements with state actors such as Iran and North Korea, Milley reminded his audience that what seems like a quick operation could soon devolve into a long-term confrontation. Okay, we know that. He's good psychologically when he spits that bullshit. But the Christian conquest, the doctrine of the discovery, is a war, is an active war. They knew what they was doing from the beginning to conquer the whole world with their Christian dogma, religious dogma, and brainwash everyone under the damn Pope who says he's the only damn sovereign on the planet. What kind of sadistic, psychotic crap is that? And it's always been a damn tool, a political tool for what? Conquests. To wedge their way into what? Criminal conquests. This is what you sisters don't understand. You think you're a Christian. You doing their bidding. It's conquest over people's land and people's resources. Look what they did to you. The fact that they didn't brought you aboard is prima facie evidence of their conquest on you. You don't even have the inclination to fight and break away and fight back. I think they call that Stockholm syndrome when you got damn sympathy for your oppressor. You sick. You sick, and you sisters are being overpowered mentally and emotionally. So I try not to be too hard on y'all, but you see what happened when they get y'all. You all are the prize piece on the chessboard. When they get you all, it's over. Because you control the children. So that's why I'm hard on y'all when y'all hear me talk like this. But the war is against you sisters, on you sisters, and I'm in on it. I'm not gonna let you I'm not gonna let them brainwash the hell out of you and you get me killed. You say, because you are now a proxy for this white man, whether you like it or not, especially if you say you're a Christian. If you say you're a U.S. citizen, you're a proxy. If you say you're black, you're a proxy for the white man. If you say you're Christian, and if you say you're a U.S. black Christian, you got 3 strikes against you. 3 levels of very effective brainwashing. And you're against what I stand for, so I'm going to have to deal with you. Either I'm going to have to try to teach you, okay? And that's what I do with you sisters, knowing who y'all are, the wealth y'all got, meaning the biological wealth, the womb y'all got, and the prize piece that you are. I can't hate you. But damn it, I can hate what you stand for, what you've been indoctrinated to be. Okay, I was so-called Christian, thought I was. You know, that's a phase you go through when you're early and dumb. That's why they want the damn children 7 and 8 years old. You ain't Christian, you brainwashed to be Christian. But even Buddha said, you know, I read the book by Buddha, nothing stays ignorant forever. It's time to come out that bullshit. Especially you sisters. I'm not gonna ever stop coming against y'all for that shit y'all on. I will never do that. And that's tough love. Because, you know what I mean, you get me killed propagating that bullshit. That's not for you. Never been for you. Your ancestors wasn't Christian. You're not being yourself. So see this cracker, the title of this article about when it's a renewed campaign of a sport. They're trying to get you in the mindset of a team. You're on a winning team. U.S. is the winning team. Okay, and get you some camaraderie for teamwork and to be a teammate. It's psychological for you to be a team player. Like, this is just a sport. You're down with the home team. Who are you with? Us against them. I'm not with you crackers. I can tell you that now. Look what the hell you done to me and my people. No language, no God. Get out of here. I'm surely ain't with you. And if that means against you, then goddamn it, that's what it is. I got a God to serve. It's not the Pope. It ain't Trump. It ain't the U.S. military. It's not the U.S. I came to the conclusion the U.S. is a beast, straight up. Moving right along. Where to get Michelle Obama's millennial pink dress? See, they always throw this BS in left field. They always do it. Like, who gives a damn about Michelle Obama's pink dress? All this stuff going on. Brothers getting shot all in the back of the head, face down. Brother getting shot in front of his damn woman and child, 4-year-old child. And they always play this woman in this dizzy type way that people gives a damn about her shoes that she got and her nails and her hair. She's a token. She's a token. The whole family is a token. They're the modern day Huxtables. Just like Bill Cosby was used to put America's family, the damn Huxtables. Ain't even no surname called. There's no surname known as no damn Huxtables. No ancient people call no damn Huxtables. What is that, a Huxtable? Who made that up? The damn NAACP, which is funded by the Zionist fake Jews. That's psychological manipulation. So Obama and his whole family was formulated and put on you Negroes to have the same effect as the damn Huxtables. And they just running in the ground, man. They can't do no wrong. The girls are this, the girls are so cute, look just like their father, and then people ain't even in your shoes. You catching pure hell. You talk about some damn Obamas. They tricked out. I don't follow them. Okay, because number one, I'm not a U.S. citizen, and I don't do Republican and Democrat. It's all a game. Now the girl's getting old. I think one of them just turned 16, and she's looking like a Jezebel with a red dress, showing some flesh. You know, them girls ain't show that they got no grounding, none. One of them already said they like Justin Bieber or they like his music. Look, come on, she ain't mentioned no pyramids, no nothing. They tricked out. She'll probably marry Justin Bieber. You know, it ain't gonna be no brother. We all know that. If Serena Williams didn't marry no brother, we all know Obama's children, them girls, ain't gonna marry no brother. It ain't like they gonna marry R. Kelly or you know what I mean, or Usher. That ain't happening. Okay, that booty going to a white man, a European white man. one of his sons or something like that. You can see that. It sure hell ain't gonna be no brother or no African. That's what I'm seeing. So again, these diversionary articles, where to get Michelle Obama's millennial pink dress. What's so millennial about the damn dress? Bullshit. See, they divert you on all that. They use her to divert her own race away from what? Lawful nationality, proper status at law, native language, mother tongue. Okay, they do Jay-Z the same way. He spits these crappy lyrics and they ain't freeing nobody with none of that bullshit. And every time you turn around, they're promoting him and his album. But anyway, nothing personal against the brother, but yo, they using you. And they in a clique. Michelle Obama's, you know, like she's in a reunion with Beyonce, and another one, Solange or whatever. It's fluff, man. It's bullshit. Michelle Obama, you too old for that shit. Be hanging with my Beyonce like you damn, 25 years old. You know, I expect higher in a woman. Something's wrong with that woman. I'm sorry to say that, but come on. You know, that's like me running around here talking about damn Justin Bieber's my idol. I'm hanging with damn Justin Bieber. Get the hell out of here with that. But anyway, you know, you can look at that diversionary article. I didn't see Obama or his wife come give any condolences to any of the women where their sons was brutally shot by the police. I don't see no articles where they came to the hospital and gave them direct condolences. And they ain't gonna do it, because they tokens. You know better than that. You know better than that. But you can run, you know, you got your lips on Beyonce's ass. You probably 15 years her senior. Something's wrong with that, man. Something's wrong with that. But anyway, I'm gonna continue. That's just personal. You know, y'all can think what y'all want, follow who the hell you want. But that's, you know what I mean? I ain't got no time to be no groupie with none of them. But anyway, continuing. The political theology of Trumpian evangelicalism. They made a new word for Trump. Trumpian evangelicalism. And under that it says God sides with the powerful. More propaganda. More psychologically manipulative news. You know, the news is good for that. News don't work for you. The news is good for forming your opinions. That's all they do. The name of this is deceptive. The political theology of Trumpian evangelicalism. So all of a sudden, what the hell he's doing is evangelicalism. Right? It ain't crime no more. It's evangelicalism. You see? Because crime, you know, evangelicalism and crime is the same in the Catholic Church. And anyway, this article is out by the Huffington Post. The article reads, even as the disgraces, crassness, and affronts to human dignity increase almost daily in the Trump administration, many evangelical Christians continue to stand behind this regime. Although the words and actions of Trump's government seem antithetical to Christian values, and it don't seem antithetical, damn it is, to whatever Christian value is. Actually, it's right in line with Christian values. Crime, rape, robbery, debauchery, immorality. Anyway, continuing. Although the words, I'll say this again, although the words and actions, this is what the article says, although the words and actions of Trump's government seem antithetical to Christian values, his supporters seem unperturbed by the lies, conflicts of interest, immorality, and lack of compassion that characterize this administration. These contradictions, however, begin to make sense if we analyze this kind of evangelicalism as a political theology directed towards theocracy rather than an expression of authentic Christian faith through political activism. So again, they're using that word political. So they're telling you can overlook the immorality, the crime that this damn weasel's doing if you just see it as a political theology. Y'all don't understand what that word political means. The whole system, the whole Roman Catholic system is political. It has nothing to do with religious or true spirituality. I've said that many times. Continuing in the article. As a political theology, Trumpian evangelicalism arises from the Christian right's history of wedding church and state in order to further the political goals of Christian theocracy and triumphalism. Man, they said that word political 3 times in one sentence. Okay, I'm going to say that sentence again. As a political theology. See, they're emphasizing that word political for a reason. Trumpian evangelicalism, a new bullshit term they just made, arises from the Christian right's history of wedding church and state in order to further the political goals of Christian theocracy and triumphalism. Okay, now you also heard 2 key words, the Christian right. Remember I told you the words conservative right, they use that as code words for Christian good old boy rednecks. Anything you hear the word right, Christian right, conservative right, alt-right, I mean, it's A-L-T, right, R-I-G-H-T, as well as alt-right, R-E-I-C-H. The congressmen, redneck congressmen, especially in the South, Alabama, are part of this group called the alt-right, R-I-G-H-T. But the little redneck from Maryland, another Southern Confederate state, that went and killed that brother in Bowie State, was part of the alt-right, R-E-I-C-H, which is a play on the alt-right, which congressmen, Southern congressmen are part of. This little young white boy took it another step further and called his little organization alt-Reich, R-E-I-C-H, which means order. Reich as in Third Reich, R-E-I-C-H. Letting you know we're really in the Fourth Reich. Okay, they just haven't came out and told you straight. They talking codes. Continuing in the article. In other words, Triumpian evangelicalism seeks to impose on all Americans a particular brand of evangelical thought and morality through legislation and court decisions that affirm government by the dictates of the political evangelical church and the triumph of the political evangelical church over other forms of religious and political organizations. All they're saying is that word political, that's a trigger word. And this is brainwashing. This line here says Triumpian evangelicalism seeks to impose. You know what impose mean? To impose means to violate you, and something's imposed on you. Seeks to impose on all what? Americans. A particular brand of evangelical thought dealing with the psyche. So they tend to alter your thought once again. And morality, your thought and your morality. So your psyche and your moral compass. Through what? Legislation and court decisions. Legislation and court decisions that affirm government by the dictates of the church and the triumph of the church over other forms of religious and political organizations. Okay, so these devils are telling you straight, especially through this article. And you know whoever wrote this article is a Roman Catholic or a Roman Catholic agent, because they ain't holding nothing back. Continuing in the article. Triumpian evangelicalism. Listen how they just formulated a word and insert into your psyche something that didn't exist. Now all of a sudden there's something called triumpian evangelicalism. It's mind control. Then rests, it says triumpian evangelicalism then rests on a number of theological tenets developed through the rise of the Christian right and refined to direct the most effective political gain. Okay, political gain, unjust gain, just like slavery's been all about unjust gain, ill-gotten wealth, political gain. Okay, and they say that word Christian right. You need to understand that's a code word. Conservative right, Christian right, talking about them good old boy rednecks like Pat Buchanan, Pat Robertson, Billy Graham, the filthy bushes. I ain't on that. Okay, so do your research. And get this, continuing with the article, God sides with the powerful. Since when? God sides with the powerful. So these are all suggestions, subliminal suggestions, which are really formulating your opinion and controlling you. And it's going to work on the Negroes. It always does. This is stuff you got to fight, the power. It says God sides with the powerful. At the center of Trumpian evangelicalism, that word again, repetitiously being inserted, imposed on your psyche. At the center of Trumpian evangelicalism is a concern with the amassing and enacting of religio-political power. Trumpian evangelicals make no attempts to mask their quest for power because they understand the accumulation of power and winning as evidence of God's approval. Check this bullshit out. Both Representative Michelle Bachmann and Reverend Franklin Graham, Billy Graham's redneck son, Franklin Graham, for example, have attributed Trump's win to God's intervention. You hear this bullshit? This is straight psychology, man. That God sides with the powerful and God is with Trump because he's bombing the hell out of people and using power, so he must be with God because he got all this damn armament. That's bullshit. Okay, continuing in this modern iteration of Deuteronomic theology, again back to the Bible, that book that got Negroes confused as hell. God rewards the good and punishes the bad. Power is a reflection of God's approval, powerless of God's disapproval. Now where is that shit written at? That's bullshit. That's bullshit. But these boys are slick, man. This is psychology at its finest. Manipulation at its finest. God rewards the good and punishes the bad. Well, who's the good and the bad? So all of a sudden Trump is good. Okay, just like they said Bush was good, bombing the Middle East, putting more oil revenues in his fucking pocket. He's good. Okay. Power is a reflection of God's approval, powerlessness of God's disapproval. Says who? That's in the mind of the beholder, especially the one who's running psychological BS. You know. So, feel this article. I mean, that's like if I get a group of thugs to just go out and rob people, find a defenseless old lady, beat the hell out of her and take everything she got. I use my rogue power to beat the hell out of her and rape her and take all of her stuff. You telling me God is with me? An immoral act like that, brutal act like that? That's what this article is saying. A suggestion to you that God is with the God, you know, power comes from God. If you got power, you know God. You got to understand what these people are saying to you. Well, Satan got power. Satan is a God. You see, but when you're using immorality, what kind of God are you? You're a wicked God. Trump is a wicked God. Okay, he's a wicked God. And he ain't going to win against the Grand Master of all things. Okay, I'm going to tell you that now, because the universe is moving on these devils. And it would be sped up if the Negroes got their mind right. But you got to see that article for yourself and really check that article out. Articles like this does damage to the average reader. Again, that article is called The Political Theology of Trumpian Evangelicalism. It's a it's a HuffingtonPost.com article. And Huffington is known to put out very significant articles such as this. But y'all got to feel this, man. You know, they doing it, like I said, they did the same thing for Bush, trumped up that he's God's man. You know, and you know, as if he's doing a modern day crusade against the damn enemy, against the infidels and the heretics. It's the same Roman Catholic bullshit that never really stopped. Taj Tariq Bey already told you all of this is against the former Ottoman Empire territories, which are Moors or Muslims or Arabs. Okay, which Islam is an ancient science. Okay, against this modern Christian bullshit. They hate Islam because it does connect melanin-rich people back to ancient ways, ancient traditions. You can follow Islam or not. I'm not recruiting for Islam. I already told y'all I'm not a Muslim, professed Muslim, but I definitely acknowledge Islam as an ancient science which connects me back to ancient systems, ancient times, ancient calendar systems, ancient spirituality, along with any and all ancient religions such as Buddhism, Judaism, Hinduism. I take anything ancient. I don't want nothing modern. I'm skeptical of anything modern. Anything new, anything modern, I'm skeptical. Because as you know, modern is premised off the ancient, but they take the ancient and throw it in a curve and make it look like the modern is the go all be all. That's the deception of this modern bullshit. They're not gonna tell you it's all based off of ancient concepts, which is you, Negro, black, colored, African American. You are ancient. You are not modern. Your DNA is ancient, your genotype is ancient, your blood type, your ancient languages. You need to run with a vengeance back to your ancient and fight this modern bullshit as best as you can. But it's all psychology. Anyway, continuing. Another article, praying for Trump borders on heresy, says prominent pastor. Praying for Trump borders on heresy. A lot of y'all don't know that a group of House Negro ministers just laid hands on Trump and put their hand in his way and prayed for him, you know, like they invoking some godliness out of this bastard. That's them 501c3 Negroes, Christian Negroes, who getting a kickback from bombing the hell out of brown-skinned people all in Africa. Sick Negroes, man. 501c3 state-run, state-controlled Negroes. You know, putting their hand toward Trump, you know, like they praying for him and invoking some kind of godliness in him. Like, get the hell out of here. But anyway, one pastor ain't falling for that. There's an NAACP leader, Reverend Barber. I forgot his full name. I think he's out of North Carolina. Says praying for Trump borders on heresy. This is deep. This is very revealing. NAACP Reverend Barber says praying for Trump by these other 501c3 Negroes borders heresy. Okay, he's saying that it was wrong for all you Negro preachers to gather around laying hands on damn Trump. Okay, you can read that article for yourself. And I'm gonna read the article. It goes like this. Religious leaders gathered in the Oval Office, check this out, and laid hands on President Donald Trump to pray that God gives him guidance, wisdom, and protection. A photo of the gathering made the rounds on social media but didn't sit well with the Reverend William Barber II, president of the North Carolina NAACP. On MSNBC's AM Joy on Saturday morning, Barber called the prayer theological malpractice bordering on heresy. Theological malpractice. Continuing, he said it is a form of theological malpractice that borders on heresy when you can pray, P-R-A-Y, for a president and others when they are praying, P-R-E-Y. He says this, praying on the most vulnerable. Barber said, you're violating the most sacred principles of religion. Come on, brother. Now, this brother's talking like he got some balls, some testicular fortitude I need to know about. See, I know he calls himself a reverend, Christian reverend, but I don't call no man reverend. Okay, I don't revere no flesh and blood man or woman. But I do revere the truth in you if you got it. But this brother's speaking the truth. This brother's speaking the truth, man. He's calling this theological malpractice. He said, how can you pray? And he spells out the word P-R-A-Y for Trump, chump, when he's praying P-R-E-Y on the damn most vulnerable. That's what this Christian preacher's saying. And it's the second Christian preacher that stepped up big. You all know I gave y'all the article, the last article I did, the last YouTube was the Christian preacher, Ed Pinkney, blew the whistle on the Flint, Michigan water that they was poisoning the water, and they gave him 6 months in jail. This is what it's all about. I mean, you claim you know God, you can't speak truth to power, then use a sellout, use a weasel, and use a chump. Okay, knowing God, divinity, speaking the truth shares the same space. That's automatic. That's evidence that you know a higher power, where you can speak truth to anybody at any time. That's your duty, especially claiming you're divine and you got a calling from a higher power. You can't speak truth to power, then you've been bought some kind of way, which is the case with these 501c3 Negroes. They getting cookies from the beasts. They getting cookies from the beasts and bennies and benefits. How the hell can you speak against your damn sugar daddy? It's impossible to do when he feeding you. You all don't know when Bush got in. Again, Bush and Trump doing the same exact damn thing. Trump just doing it more blatant than anybody has ever seen, which is riling even white people up. Like, damn, you ain't got to do it like that. My man ain't holding back his tongue. He ain't holding back his actions, his mannerisms. He doing it straight, no chasing. And people are like, oh, if this law is like, what the hell are you doing? I mean, that's totally against the supreme law of the land. He's showing you. The Constitution done been suspended. It's been a takeover on this land since 1861. Taj Tariq Bey told you it was a coup d'etat, especially with the act of 1871, a congressional act to create a U.S. federal corporation, February 21st of 1871. The proof is there. Okay, and filthy George Bush Jr., Hellboy, has already said the Constitution is nothing but a goddamn piece of paper. He said it just like that. So he's telling you, you're not under no damn Constitution. Okay, you under war powers. You under military rule. And it is most definitely Inquisition, Roman Catholic Church. So understand what's taking place here. Now, getting back to your boy Trump. He's clearly a warmonger. Clearly, that's all he's been doing. I mean, he's got an aura, a spirit, the demons in him. And not only is he a warmonger, he incites warmongering acts. He'd been doing it before he got in. When people was at a pre-election a campaign, and he told his supporters, if anybody in here opposes me, punch him in the face. And the cracker did it. Punched the brother in the face. That's straight. There's no charge for that. You telling me I can get a bullhorn and go say shit like that down in an all white Catholic run community with all whites out in the suburbs, and just get a bullhorn, and start inciting shit, punch a little crack in the face, and people start doing it. You tell me I can go home with no charges? You know better than that. So look at the mannerisms of this devil. Anyway, big ups to you, respect to you, William Barber II. I'm not going to call you Reverend, for speaking truth to power. Okay, you are truly exemplifying the God I identify with. That's the act of a God, speaking truth to power, especially if you say you're a man of God. What you doing, brother, you putting them other suckers to shame, and you standing out. But I love it. Truth shouldn't have to be a revolutionary act. It should be constant, but it's not. So much respect, Barbara. I've been following this guy. He's been saying a lot of things. Truth, I don't bow to no man, but if you speak in truth, I bow to the truth in you. So truth happens to be a revolutionary act. Truth don't have a face. Speak the truth. Identify with the truth in you. If you're lying, I'm gonna call it a lie. I'm gonna call it the truth. It ain't personal. But big respect to this so-called Christian preacher, William Barber II, in chastising these house Negro 501c3 state-run Negroes for an act like this, praying for Trump in the damn Oval Office. They should have took a noose and hung his ass. That's what they should have did. Drag his ass out on the lawn of the damn White House. Took that White House over and crucified his ass. You ask me. But that's just my personal opinion. Don't mind me. Anyway, back to Trump. Trump is clearly a warmonger just like the filthy Bush. And they both are being presented as a modern-day Christian crusader, eradicating the evil of Islam off the Pope's planet. I already told you all this whole thing against Islam is against brown-skinned people. It's a code word, a racist war against melanin-rich people, because Muslims are known to be melanin-rich. Prophet Muhammad being Asiatic, his mother being, I think, Sudanese, and his father being whatever, Arab. So it is a code word against brown-skinned people all around the world, which you're starting to see Muslim acts of these European nations banning hijabs and all this stuff, turning Muslim so-called refugees away, immigrants. Trump spearheaded all this, and he spurred all of this. But continuing, exactly how was Trump getting away with all of this under your U.S. Congress, which is supposed to be checking the U.S. president under the Constitution, under the supreme law of the land, which is the Constitution for the United States of America public? President did nothing until they checked with Congress, the three legislative branches. But your Congress, U.S. Congress is clearly co-opted. All of them millionaires. They sit up in that seat, and especially again the so-called black, whatever you call them, Negroes, man, Congressional Black Caucus, which is really a black dead carcass. You know what I mean? A worm-infested carcass on the side of the road, smelly carcass. All of them Negroes are millionaires. That's why they sit up in them seats for 20 years and retire and pass the shit to their sons, you know, and keep it going, and keep that wealth going. That's all them Negroes do. You know, and I'm gonna tell you who they are in a minute. But how many of you know? How many of you all know that your Congress are nothing but extorting, subverting operatives doing business as U.S. Congress, maintaining a de facto status? Your U.S. vote don't even count. It means nothing. You're going through the motions. That's just an opinion. U.S. Congress are trustees, and absolutely all of their legislation benefits Wall Street. U.S. Congresspersons are trustees of Wall Street, in which they serve as board of directors of the U.S. Federal Corporation of February 21st, 1871. The U.S. Supreme Court, supposedly the highest court of the land, is a company. Okay? So y'all need to understand what I'm saying here. Congress are on a board of directors of Wall Street. Okay, they're employees. They're not de jure statesmen and stateswomen anymore. That's gone after they shot Lincoln in the head way back in 1871. That's almost 150 years ago. So they run a good front. All right, they're trustees of the corporation, U.S. Federal Corporation of 1871. In your Supreme Court, get this, supposedly the highest court in the land, is a company. Supreme Court is now a company, corporation, and a business. The U.S. Supreme Court is not a de jure functioning entity of the supreme law of the land. The U.S. Supreme Court has its own Dun & Bradstreet number, just like any other corporation that you can look up. And they also have a corporate bond rating. All right, when did the U.S. Supreme Court become a corporation? Y'all better understand that. U.S. Supreme Court is a corporate entity with its own Dun & Bradstreet number, just like any other corporation, and it has a bond rating. If you got a bond rating, you are a corporation. Just like all these State of Ohio Incorporated. They're moving bonds. Corporation moves bonds, evidence of debt. Okay, so your U.S. Supreme Court, supposed to be the highest court in the land, is running a corporate operation. What is that telling you? It's lawlessness. The law done been officially suspended. They're running a psychological operation on you dum-dums, a psyop. It's an illegal public front operation, the whole thing. So all of these Supreme Court justices that Trump appointed, which is unconstitutional because they're supposed to be elected by the people. You know that didn't happen. Gorsuch, and all these devils that he got around him, that he's putting in place so they can do his bidding. They're all trustees for Wall Street. They're all trustees for Wall Street. This Dennis Korsuch guy, I mean, he had all this opposition to him. Amy Goodman does a good job. If you look at her archives, she told you who he was and what he stand for. And you got white people opposing him. He ruled on a brother, this Dennis Korsuch guy, which, if I'm not mistaken, has been appointed, not constitutionally elected, to the U.S. Supreme Court, which I just told you, they're trustees of Wall Street, by your boy Trump. Trump only puts people around him that's going to do his corporate bidding, his inquisitional bidding. But this Korsuch guy ruled on a brother. A brother was driving a tractor trailer somewhere in one of them cold states that snow a lot, and it got cold, sub-temperature weather degrees. The weather went below zero, wind chill factor, and his cab stalled. His trailer, tractor and trailer, stalled. And the brother stayed in the trailer as long as he could, because there is some type of law, not a law, but it's a policy where you are supposed to stay near your trailer as long as you can. You ain't supposed to abandon the goods. When you're carrying a load, you know, you're responsible for that load, and you're supposed to really stay in that trailer at all times. That's why them trailers got heat and all that stuff. But the temperatures got so low, and the brother started freezing to death. And he obviously had no heat or whatever, because his trailer malfunctioned. The trailer that pulls the load, not the trailer, but I guess they call it, whatever they call it, the main vehicle that pulls the rig. Okay, so he stayed as long as he can in that trailer with probably no heat, no food, and he started freezing to death. Temperatures got so low, his feet started getting numb, couldn't feel his fingers, and he tried to stay with the cargo as long as he could. And I think it was a snowstorm, but he had to leave the cargo to go warm up and get a hotel to stay in, or he would have froze to death. So the brother made a decision to save his life and leave that damn cargo, which is nothing but product, inanimate product that's insured. Okay, he left the cargo to warm himself up with the intentions of going back to the cargo, and the company fired him for that. The company fired him, let you know these corporations don't give a damn about your life. It's all corporate activity. It's all corporations. It's all profit, more and more profit for their shareholders. But the brother left the cargo and warmed himself up, got him a room. Okay, like he got some damn sense, and the corporation fired him. He went to court and get his job back, and that particular case went up to Dennis Korsuch. Dennis Korsuch was some kind of judge in whatever capacity before he was U.S. Supreme Court. It went to him. I don't think he was in the Supreme Court then. It went to him in a lesser capacity. I think it was a federal judge or whatever. And this Dennis Korsuch ruled inside of the corporation. He ruled on the side of the corporation and said the corporation was valid, was totally justified in firing this brother for trying to go warm up and stay alive. This is the kind of sadistic people that Trump's put around him. Bloodthirsty killers, cold-blooded killers, to put inanimate product over a man's life. Okay, all that stuff that's being hauled in the trailers, commercial product, is inanimate. It ain't got no life. It's got a market, a price to it, but it has no natural moral consciousness. It's not a person, and the shit is insured anyway. So the brother went to save his life, and he got fired because he didn't stay with inanimate objects, cargo, commodities, corporate commodities. You see, he could have died trying to stay there. They wouldn't have gave a damn, as long as they saved their damn corporate commodities. This is the cutthroat of corporatocracy that's running the White House right now. So Understand the U.S. Supreme Court is a company. Now, sometime, at some point they was incorporated, but they are a business. It is not a de jure functioning entity of the supreme law of the land. Once again, it has its own Dun & Bradstreet number. You can look them up, just like any other corporation, and it also have a corporate bond rating. Now, there are 21 international corporations funding the U.S. beast system as you know it, meaning controlling the White House, which I say is the dope house, the crack house. Okay, there's 21 international corporations, businesses funding the U.S. beast system, which is every aspect of the U.S. federal corporation, meaning the courts, the healthcare, the economy, etc. Some of the names of these 21 corporations are Goldman Sachs, you heard them before, J.P. Morgan, Chase, Citibank, filthy banks are running the White House, with subsidiaries like Wells Fargo, another bank. And these corporations control your welfare cards, your WIC programs, your food stamps, everything. Your grants, they control everything. So it's one big corporate operation. If you do a Dun & Bradstreet search, you will see that even your U.S. House of Representatives is a corporation now. This is unheard of. I don't know when they became one, but your U.S. House of Representatives, aka Congress, U.S. Congress, is a corporation trading as the Office of Law and Revision Counsel. You can look it up with the corporate address being 2nd Street Southwest, Building H2, Room 304 in Washington, D.C. Okay, the House of Representatives have their own separate corporate entity that is incorporated and have their own Dun & Bradstreet number. House of Representatives, trading as, again, the Office of Law Revision Counsel, with the address, corporate address, reflecting 2nd Street Southwest, Building H2, Room 304, Washington, D.C. So if your House of Representatives is a corporation with a corporate bond rating, U.S. Supreme Court is a corporation with a Dun & Bradstreet number and a bond rating. What is that telling you? You have no government. It is officially lawless. That's why everybody has a straw man, a front, a public front. It's all public corruption. Illegal public front psychological operation. State-sponsored scheme and state-sponsored scam. So your boy Donald Trump is a criminal, and I just gave you evidence of everything he's doing is criminal. No one is notifying you this. If you had rites of passage, you would know this. If you had not rites of passage, excuse me, if you had a civics class, nobody has civics. Nobody had civics, especially the so-called Negroes, blacks, and coloreds. You would understand what your so-called government is. How can you call yourself something you don't know what that something is? That is the epitome of insanity. Any Negro who say he's a U.S. citizen, I know you don't know what it is. Just like you say you're a Christian, I know you don't know what it is. You say you're black, I know you don't know what it is. That's triple threat against you. Wonder why you getting your ass kicked, why you can't get nothing. You ain't got nothing to show for nothing. Your children being murdered and sacrificed. This stuff has got to stop. I mean, when is it going to stop? We are spiritual people. Your spirit should be leading you towards coming back to who you are. If you're truly spiritual, your spirit should be bothering you, man. And you should feel what has been ushered in 2012. But it's time for you to cut this foolishness. The trifling stuff I see our people still doing. Now keep in mind, some of them have been on drugs 20 years. And they can't help it. That's what the drugs the CIA brought in on our race for. To keep us subservient. Our energy is so vast in North America, man, that they will rather kill you than to let you be free and take control of your own energy. They would rather kill you. And that's what they're doing now. They can't stand to see you walk away and take your wealth from these damn parasites, man. These are pale-faced parasites, all of them. And they're doing it through Christianity. Christianity is their tool to wedge their way into criminal conquest. All these so-called Puritans and Quakers that came to this landmass in the 1600s, they don't give a damn about no damn God. They came here for free land and some black slaves. That's it. Under the guise of being so damn religious. Puritan's supposed to mean purely religious. How you gonna come here and fight the original people for this land, talking about, you know, your white God gave it to you when you got here? Well, why didn't they God give it to them if they've been here a million years before you got here? That's a sadistic mindset. They're eugenicists. And Trump is falling right in line with the shit, but he's just doing it so blatant until he's causing waves in the White House. Okay, his boy, he was gonna fire Sessions. He wants to fire him, but if he does that, people gonna know. One white guy said, man, if he fires Sessions, he's done. Because you can't fire someone that opposes you because it's not about you. You know, you're supposed to be following a law. That's what the Constitution laid down, a rule book, and what the U.S. president will do and not do at all times, 24 hours a day. You stray from that, you have no immunity. Somebody's supposed to hunt you down and kill you when you don't follow the law. If you ain't following that Constitution, you have no immunity. None. And that's what they had to get rid of on this landmass, the Constitution for the United States of America Republic. That Constitution was like a cross to a vampire. The Jesuits, Rome had to get rid of any law. For them to rule, they got to get rid of what? LAW, law, which is rooted in natural law, moral law, divine law, spiritual law, ancient law. And again, that Constitution for the United States of America. See, you Negroes, blacks, coloreds, and African Americans do not know your standing to this damn continent. That's unbelievable. You don't know who you are to this continent right here. You have the highest status here. When you get in your status, you are the free white nobles of the land. White people cannot get your status. They cannot. They're not you. You're not them. They cannot share your status with you when you know who you are and you get in your right status. The reason they're running wild, this cracker's running wild. I already did a YouTube called Western Civilization Going Wild. This white man is going wild. This unnatural, genetically recessive, pale white man is gone wild. And Trump is again spurring that. Really across the planet. White man in Europe is going wild, doing what they want to do, talking about immigrations. But again, you don't know who you are to this continent. You are autochthonous to the land, really to the whole world, but most definitely the Americas, also known as the Amarucas, also known as the Amoricas. Okay, you clearly hear the word more. Amaruca, land of the Amaru. The Amaru Shi people, Xi people. You don't even know what the hell I'm talking about. It's foreign language to you if I say the word Shi. Again, but you know them damn scriptures though. If I say Amaru, you think I'm talking a damn foreign language. The people here were known as the Amaru people. Okay, and whether you know it or not, Tupac Shakur is named after an Aztec chief who fought the white man, the colonial white man in like the 1500s, known as Tupac Amaru. That's why Tupac is so controversial, because his mother and them, they made him controversial. His name, they made him to be revolutionary, whether it be through rap or the movies or whatever. So he's doing his call, and the woman put it on him. The woman made him into be controversial and revolutionary. That's what you women can do. Instead of, you know, bullshitting your children into being this damn sissy soft Christian, you encourage your children, and you encourage your children to fight for you and make a damn empire for you, and protect you and kill for you and die for you. We had that before Christianity. You ain't got that now. You got these little sissy soft, effeminate looking boys talking this effeminate doctrine, demasculinated doctrine known as Christianity. They look soft, they look weak. They can't even build a damn doghouse, can't build a birdhouse. But they got a Bible under their arm and trying to inseminate that crap inside somebody's brain. Where did they get that from to be so young? Y'all young brothers are gods serving the Most High God, and you ain't showing you are a God. Trying to brainwash somebody with this Roman doctrine, this Constantinian damn doctrine, indoctrination, which is clearly not in our favor. Clearly not in our favor. So it's on the 2-hour mark, 2.5 hours. So I hope you all once again learn something, because you know, I don't do these YouTubes that often. I really don't intend to, but when I get some information, I just try to, like anybody else, disseminate it to the people in their right mind, the people who know the time. But Trump is disgusting. He's a warmongering pig, and they're about to start scooping your young brothers up. The pigs are the police are gonna start framing them on bullshit charges, especially when these wars kick off. They done it before. And the police are going to coerce them, interrogate them into either going to fight the war for these shareholders, these same 1 to 5% elite European families, aka Illuminati, or do 7 years or 20 years in prison after they've framed them on some drug charge or a gun charge or whatever. You know what the young brother gonna do. That sounds good to him, to do 4 years in damn Afghanistan instead of a damn 17 years in a damn federal prison or a prison. See, that's abuse. Either way, it's the frying pan. One is the skillet, one's the frying pan. But what kind of choices are the pigs giving them? This is what the police do. And you telling me that they're honest and fair and they work for you? They will frame your ass so quick. That's what the whole prison system is about, taking a plea. They give your ass some trumped up charges through a damn straw man. How honest is that? And tell you, look, man, hey, if I were you, you're facing 10 years. If I was you, man, just go ahead and take the plea that you killed the daughter, you know, and it'll give you 7 years. Hell no. What kind of offer is that from so-called law enforcement? You did nothing, and they tell you to take a plea killing somebody and get a lesser charge from zero, from nothing. This is police. And you telling me they're in your favor? And they're trying to psych you into believing that they work for you? BS. And they just up the campaign now to regain your trust. And you sisters, they're really trying to get to you. Everything is about the woman. They can run any bullshit on you women because you don't understand there's a science to you emotionally and psychologically. It's not your fault. You need security, and they know that. Economic security. And anybody who compromises your security, you're going to do what the hell they tell you to do. Unless you're strong enough to fight, which is very hard. See, they're playing on your science. They're playing on your science. And I'm trying not to be hard on you sisters direct, but I know what they can do to you, and when they do to you, the damage you can do to your own self and your own kind being damn hypnotized. In other words, you get somebody killed being indoctrinated on this damn Valentine's Day, Halloween, all these damn holidays, holy days that don't have nothing to do with you, but got you running to spend money every holiday requires you to spend money? What holiday requires you not to spend money and they hype it up? Valentine's Day, Christmas, Thanksgiving, President's Day, President Day sale, Columbus Day sale. It's always a sale attached to this bullshit. And when they can control the women, indoctrinate the women, you control the children. Women spend the money. Women like spending money in a state of mind, and that makes them feel secure, catching a sale some damn way. And they don't know it's not a sale. How is this shit as a sale and it's marked up 5,000% already? They reduce it to 3,000%, where they gonna get 3,000% profit, and you think it's a sale. The shit is overpriced in the first place. Y'all need to know wholesale and retail. But again, you can do that to the woman when you done brainwashed her, you done put fear in her, you know, you done show that you can kill her men whenever you want, and she gonna submit. Just don't kill my men no more, please. I do what you want. And say, okay, that's where we want you at, sister. And anytime you stray away from that, we're gonna start killing your men and boys again. Oh, please don't do that, sir. I'll do anything you want. Anything. Anything. Sexually, anything. You sisters don't understand that. There's a science to you all that this cracker's using. He ain't playing fair. Everybody's playing a woman. You're the prize piece on the chessboard. Even got some dumb brothers playing you. But all that's gonna stop. All that's gonna stop. I don't have an intention of playing y'all like that no more. I maybe done it in the past, being in my unaware state. We all done it, because that's our indoctrination, to get the original man to think like the damn Pope. Eurocentric, male-centered, and run that BS on you sisters. We playing our own self with that. Playing our own self out with that. I don't have no more time for that. Anybody who played the original woman playing themselves out. The cracker playing you because you doing him a favor. I can't play the original woman like that. And if I ever did it, I'm trying to make you know, retribution. I'm telling you now, I'm trying to make amends with the original woman, especially everything's coming around to her, Mother Earth. You mess with the original woman, you mess with the Earth. They both one and the same. And we dying for the woman being played and manipulated, especially by these parasites. I can't do that. I can go get me a 501c3 and get me a little church that turns into this large church, and get me a Bentley, and you see me in the Jet book and Ebony book. I can't do that. I got a conscience, man. Knowing what I know now, the science of a woman, I can't do that. I got a conscience. And all I do is come and get that money every damn week, and going through them women in the churches, like 85% women, and they ovulating for you. They ain't got a man for themselves. I can't do that. I'm going to use my energy to go for the family, put the family together. And I got to appeal to you sisters that it's really all about you all. You all don't understand that. But again, this particular YouTube, I felt the need to do. I think it was much needed. Entitled Trump endorses police brutality like the sick, sadistic, mad dog rabid animal that he truly is. Because he is. He's sadistic. You know, you can see he got alters in him, man. He don't have no love for his counterpart, which is the white woman. You know that. You could see his mannerisms. See, he's off. I can see that. Number one, he ain't got no melanin. He's psychologically unstable right there. Okay, people ain't got no melanin. Melanin grounds you. Melanin is a very significant grounding agent in the original people. Melanin grounds you, keeps you calm, sedated, balanced. The miraculous melanin, the miracle known as melanin, which a lot of us don't even know. You sisters need to be knowing what the hell that is, because these scriptures ain't carrying you. Galatians 1 and 2, Ephesians 3 and 8. Y'all can quote these scriptures like a parakeet. Probably want to crack them scriptures come out of y'all. They ain't cutting it. You ain't moving me with them. I know what time it is. After I saw that YouTube video, Kemet, the mother of Christianity. You can't tell me nothing. That brother already broke the spell on you Christian preachers. If you can refute that, you need to put together a nice refuted letter or something, some nice refuted piece, and get it to me on that alone. Especially you sisters. You have actually a duty to refute that, because he puts your whole Christianity in the trash. That's what he does. Again, if you haven't seen it by now, Kemet, the mother of Christianity. There's sisters in there giving, attesting to the truth that this brother's breaking down about Christianity. There's women in the video proud to get that information, and they're really mad because they've been lied to. What's your problem, sister? When you see that, you got to do one thing, sister. You got to either piss or get off the pot. You got to get on one side. That breaks all your emotion. Truth don't care nothing about your emotions being played. Okay? Kemet, the mother of Christianity, and that's just one of them. But he does an excellent job, best job I've seen in one piece to really put your Christianity in perspective. So it's time for us to grow up. And Trump gonna get your son killed, and he gonna get you to let your son go to war, your melanin-rich son go to war and kill people that they don't even know what they killing for. They gonna go through the woman, and they gonna go through the preacher. The preacher gonna have a campaign, and we need to fight. We need to win. We at war. And them recruiters, which are nothing but damn Jezebels and charlatans, are gonna pump that shit up with all these benefits for you young brothers and bonuses. Oh my gosh, I can see it coming. It's all a bogus contract because they're not disclosing what the hell is going on. Why is all this non-disclosure in these recruiters, in these pastors, in these corporations, if this is supposed to be a godly place? It don't exist. That recruiter gonna sell some young brother up the river, 19 years old, knowing he don't know what the hell he know. These people got degrees that little 19-year-old young man don't know a damn thing about. He ain't no match for that recruiter. Just like a person ain't no match for a realtor. These people got licenses, degrees. Just like an attorney has a bar title, esquire title. I mean, they have degrees. You ain't no match when you don't know what the hell they doing. Okay, that young brother, 19-year-old, going in front of this Negro recruiter ain't no match. That recruiter gonna do him in. It's straight manipulation. And that's what I see coming. And especially you sisters. They're beating you sisters down till you don't see no option but to take your womb in there and fight for this damn beast, which is against your natural womb. It looks good to you, but it's playing you out. It's playing you out. One sister told me she was thinking about going in the damn Navy. I told you don't do it, sister. Let me give you some history, and made her reconsider that bullshit. You talk to me, I'm gonna tell you what the military is all about. I'm not gonna bullshit you. We got wealth out here. We need to reclaim our lost estate, which is your mind, your body. Your mind and your body is in a state. Your mind is in a state. You got bio-spiritual properties that these devils been sucking on, these parasites, that is priceless. Your intellect is priceless. Your mind is priceless. Your creativity is priceless. You need to get that back. That's your money. That's your wealth. Not this damn fiat reserve, Khazarian damn Jew money, Jesuit money. See, they didn't psych you in. If you ain't got that, you don't have nothing. You better learn what money is. I done showed you that you got a private bond serial number on the other side of your social security card. That's where your money is. You need to be forming circles, sisters, formulating circles on how to get into that and deal with that. But it's going to require status change. You ain't going to do it as Sally Johnson, Tamika Harris. See, it's a divine time for us to come back to who we are. We're so ignorant, we don't understand that's where all our wealth is. But you keep playing with it if you want. All I can do is suggest and sow the seeds. No matter how harsh I may sound, I'm just a farmer. I'm throwing seeds, man. And people gonna come. As you build it, people will come. People who know the time gonna come your way. Or come to where the truth. It ain't even my way, but it's time. It's time. They done killed everybody who tried to tell you the truth, but I'm gonna give you what I got. And I'm gonna always refer you to books and other people saying the same thing, because we are truly in a divine time. Trump is a piece on the chessboard. Okay, but I acknowledge the master and the grandmaster. Trump ain't the grandmaster. Okay, he's not as powerful as you think. He's trying to get you to let your guard down, because the real awakening is coming. Universal retribution is coming, and it's here. It can happen fast through you, but it's gonna get you and do you in for slacking. You can't slack in this cosmological retribution. You can't do it. Ignorance has no place in this time of awareness. Ignorance is truly death. Ignorance is hell. Okay, salvation is enlightenment. Salvation is an evolved being. That's what the gospel is all about. Gospel being a good spell, the good spell of salvation, the good spell of enlightenment. We got to cast spells to get people enlightened. Cast spells of enlightenment, meaning encouragement, enlightenment all around, every day, all the time, to battle somebody like Trump in this damn Christian indoctrination, this evil indoctrination. Not telling you where the damn Christian story coming from. That's indoctrination. Why don't Trump pull out that Black Madonna that the Pope prays to? Where's that Black Madonna at in the White House? There should be a room by itself that has that Black Madonna in there. ISIS nurturing baby Horus. Where's that at? You got Christian sicko Omarosa Manigault as your White House aide. The hell with her. Make a whole room in the White House for the Black Madonna that the Pope prays to. Got a picture of him on his knees bowing and praying to the Black Madonna. Why Trump ain't talking about that? But he uses the original woman to do his bidding, like Omarosa Manigault, Susan Rice, Condoleezza Rice. They doing what the Pope always have done. They know who you are, the power you got. But they done desecrated you out of all religious texts and religious scripture. And the only thing you good is to be used to hold this damn cracker up. This male-centered, patriarchal, imbalanced cracker. He uses the woman forcefully, using his damn psychological manipulation on you sisters, knowing your science. And the only thing you can do is be second to him and hold his damn kingdom up. Cynthia McKinney being a damn a sub-agent to this cracker, this Dutch man, some We the People constitutional mess that's not for you. You know, just the fact that you being a co-partner to this devil, something clearly wrong with that. You playing the fiddle, second fiddle to this damn white Dutch master. Okay? But that's what the cracker's doing. He got all you sisters kidnapped, and he give you a salary helping him conduct fraud. He give you a salary upholding his damn criminal fraud. Same thing he do with you Negroes like Ben Carson. The hell with that. I got a God to serve and I got morals. This cracker's on his way down, and you can bring it faster with coming to who you are. You got riches. It's all a front, man. It's a charade. A house of smoke and mirrors. It ain't just smoke. It ain't just trick mirrors. It's smoke and trick mirrors. It's an illusion. It's the Matrix. And only those who know the time know what the hell they need to do. That's what I'm about. Again, the website is https://indigenouspeopledocs.wixsite.com/Asiatic Moorish Nation with 2 U's. And the email address is asiaticmoorishnation@gmail.com with 2 O's in the email address. and feast your eyes on the goodies that I laid out to kind of ground you. And what can I say? It's on. Okay, they're ramping up war with Iran. China doing their thing, trying to counteract this beast. Y'all don't understand the ancient battle going on with the continent of Asia, which you are part of. That's your sister continent. You should be fighting for. You talking about all this Africa stuff. How the hell can you talk about Africa without talking about Asia? It's impossible. There is no Pan-Africanism with no damn, without no Pan-Asianism and Pan-Americanism. That's how shallow you are. You in a box. They got Negroes thinking they domesticated in North America. That's just exactly what Malcolm X said. Being domesticated is a state of mind. You are global people, really universal people. 90% of this natural earth. How the hell are you domesticated? How are you a minority? Where at? Again, they trick your mind and trick your behind. And again, I'll say this again, you are the key. You are the key to all of this sitting right here in North America. You're the key to all other Asiatics. They waiting for you to rise. You can set this puppy off if you woke up. But you can't break that damn Christianity with 3 Ks, especially you women who indoctrinating the children. I'll say this again to you damn sisters. Christianity is a modern story from an ancient story. It's their stories. But you have the most recent modern story that has been altered time and time and time again till you do not have what the original story is supposed to be telling you. You don't have it. And you so emotional with stories like a little 3-year-old child listening to Mickey Mouse and SpongeBob. You don't have the original story. Even the original story is a damn story because it's all taught by cosmology. Look at Kemet, the mother of Christianity, on YouTube and you'll know what I'm talking about. I ain't got to say a word. That brother does an excellent job. But no nation rise higher than a woman, and the status of the woman is the status of the child. So I'm going to keep chopping at you, sister psyche. I'm going to tell you, I'm never going to stop. I tell you, they can kill me by getting you. I'm dead. So I'm coming for you, whether you like it or not. It ain't personal. You know, I try to give you the truth because I feel when you know, when I know you know, like Steve Coker said, when I know you know, I'm safe. I ain't going to never leave you sisters alone. Devil gaming on y'all psychologically, damn it, I'm gaming too. But somebody gonna win y'all over either with the truth or with the lies. Right now they got a hold on y'all with psychological lies. The truth works the same psychologically. Truth and lies are both sciences. They both work. But the truth is more righteous. Once again, you sisters are gonna support something because y'all supporters. What y'all support is the question. Y'all gonna either support righteousness or unrighteousness. Whatever's in place. That's what these devils know. Y'all gonna support whatever's going, whatever's ruling, you all gonna support for the sake of security. You're gonna support unrighteousness whether you want or not. You may not want to do it, but you're gonna learn to do it for your sense of security. And all that cracker gotta do is give you a salary and pay your hospital bills and give you this little credit card where you can eat lobster and shrimp and ride around in your little BMW, powder blue BMW with your fake orange hair, loud orange hair, and you forget all about your nation, your race, and yourself and your kind. Okay, that's called psychological manipulation. And that's what they're doing. So you're a war victim, sister, especially with this Christianity, you're a war victim. And if you remember, Brother Drew Ali has a cover on one of his little booklets where he's saving a woman. We got to save the woman. You sisters need to be saved. And we're not talking about in that damn Christian church. That's not saved. Saved is enlightened. You need to be enlightened. So when you know better, you do better. And you want to be enlightened, damn it. That's why I fit in that. Just check the product I put out. Okay, you can feel it, you can check it, whatever you want to do. It's not no fairy tale rhymes, I can tell you that now. And if you really want to hear something, Google Mama Myra Moss. A sister look just like you. Watch a few of her YouTubes. She got many YouTubes out. As above, so below. This is a sister bringing it to you. And I told you I get my inspiration from her. Because she said this shit has got to go. She know who Trump is. He got to go. Because he's against the natural womb, natural earth, anything natural. He got to go, and he's going. He's going, him and his unnatural parasites, whoever he worked for. So the war is cosmological. It ain't just physical, it ain't earthly. It has gotten into the cosmos. You can see that because these devils are dabbling in space more and more. There's something going on they don't want you to know. But if you're spiritual, you need to know what it is. You should know. Look up to the sky. You know, space is the place. That's all I got to say. Anyway, this is another one from Brother Amin Rael. Hopefully you learned something. Keep your third eye open. It's on like popcorn. They're trying to start another war, major war, and recruit these little melanin-rich girls, melanin-rich boys, gods and goddesses fighting the damn devil's war. That's a no-no. It's time to wake up. And once again, Amin Rael. Until next time, I'm out.